Oh, now that people can hear me, I'm typing. Okay.
I saw you giggling.
Yeah, I had like unmuted on the stream, and I was typing to Krohnos. He was like, I can't hear you. I'm not on deafened yet. I'm not on deafened yet. Okay, guys, though, I am so excited. We are officially into day 2 of Ursiiday's Pokemon Pocket Weekly number 22. Super, super, super exciting. And it is the first weekend of ranked. But I do want to introduce first my co-caster this week that I'm super excited to have on. Krohnos, he is a cherished member of the community, especially with the stream, as well as another content creator who Twitch streams, is starting up a YouTube, and I believe has a Twitter as well. If you guys want to do exclamation mark co-caster, thank you for setting that up. Would you like to introduce yourself, Krohnos?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Krohnos. I've been streaming on and off for a couple years, and then Pocket came out, and I really found a niche and kind of just like ramped up. I remember getting 10 viewers. It was at 2 a.m. my time, and then it came out, and it's gone really cool. I found the Ursi community a bit before Pocket came out, and I've been pretty integrated. If you're in the Discord at all, you know that I'm around. Yeah, I'm really excited. I love to see a good meta shakeup. So new cards always excite me. And there's a bunch of cool decks. There was Risen's top, and so thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, I am so excited though. Oh, first off, thank you for coming on here and co-casting with me today. But yeah, I'm so excited to see some of these new decks. I think with this new, the ranked ladder, stuff like that, we're going to see a lot of interesting decks. One of which I find really interesting is basically a T14 Beedrill list and all the Meowscarada.
I don't know. You can say T14. That number's a bit low, but yes, I did see the Beedrill Meowscarada going. That's
How is it low? There's 6 cards. There's 6 Pokemon.
That's 6 Pokemon.
Yeah, so T14.
Yeah, I mean it's right. It's right. It's just not how I would describe it.
How would you describe it then for the Beedrill?
I would say it's a Meowscarada Beedrill deck.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too. I thought it was so cool.
Oh, or are you saying just Meowscarada? Yeah.
I was meaning like the pure Beedrill list.
The pure Beedrill? I would just call it. I just call it Beedrill EX.
I guess that is true.
You call it the bee's knees.
The bee's knees. I don't know about that one. He's not even a bee.
I was running.
He's a wasp.
My stream title when the cards came out was "This is not a Beedrill," and I was playing Beedrill.
This is not a Beedrill.
There's a lot of puns you can make with it.
But it's literally not a bee. It's a wasp.
I know.
This is a problem that I have with its naming Beedrill. I'm very unokay with it stealing the bees' names. Rabombi, much better Pokemon.
Oh, I was about to say, is there a bee Pokemon? But yeah, Rabombi? If you guys don't know, Rabombi is Ursi's favorite Pokemon. That's a cute little bug Pokemon. That's what
it is a cute one.
Was like, and it's got a little skirt and stuff. Anyway.
Are you excited for Beedrill today in the tournament? Or do you think it might have some problems against some of these other decks that seem a lot more dominant? I mean, we obviously have 2 different types of Beedrills in our top 64, but there's so much Giratina, Darkrai. How do you think it's going to fare against that deck in the long run?
Yeah, so I've played a bunch of Beedrill that came out. I think it has issues into Druddigon simply because it doesn't one shot. You can do like a Kakuna attack, and then the Beedrill will knock it out, but you're taking a lot of chip damage. It is Beedrill EX, so it does have 170 HP. But the deck is very fast, very aggressive, and actually enjoys going first because then on turn 3 you can attack, and if they have an energy on their front Pokemon, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, very, very true. I mean, even if they try to retreat a Pokemon on their front, it's just a Cyrus back up. Yeah, I feel like sometimes you don't expect Stage 2 Pokemon to want to go first.
Yeah, it's because it has a 2-cost attack,
Yeah, except in this case, it's a 1 because of the Kakuna.
I meant it goes 1/1 because otherwise, if it goes 1, 2, 3, for example, Butterfree, which is a great comparison. Caterpie is 1, Metapod's 2, and Butterfree is 3, which means if you're going first, you can't evolve an attack with your Metapod.
Yeah, very true.
But because Beedrill and Kakuna are 1 cheaper, you can. So Very interesting deck, but we've got a whole bunch of other things as well. You mentioned Giratina. So the Gallade decks are kind of popping off. Gyarados Manaphy has a good matchup into the Giratina stuff, but the Hitmonlee owns the Magikarp. I've seen a couple people playing Giratina Mewtwo, and then we've got a whole bunch of same stuff. Notably, the biggest chunk for the last couple turns has been Arceus Dialga, and the deck's kind of has a much smaller showing in the top cut than I was kind of expecting it to. So I think it's kind of getting roasted, I guess. But
yeah, I completely agree. I kind of had thought that like Arceus Dialga would still have a fair amount of gameplay, just like because of the consistency of the deck, I guess. But we're definitely seeing, I'm bringing it up here on screen so everyone can check it out. But Arceus Dialga actually has a terrible win rate this match, or this set. 40% win rate, not what you expect after being basically a Titan in last set.
Yeah, and checking out the matchup specifically. So for Triumphant Light in the metagame, the biggest counter to the Arceus decks were the Rampardos and Lucario decks. And since Gallade has also risen significantly in the last couple days, so that's some good matchups. The Gallade decks also own it because it's got the fighting type Pokemon, and I also see that Gyarados is stomping, probably because with the addition of the newest red card, if you will, let's Gyarados one shot an Arceus even with a cape, doing a plus 20 damage to EX Pokemon.
Yeah, that is. I completely agree. Like that Gyarados hitting for 160 does so much, and still at 108. It's 180, right, on the Gyarados EX.
Yeah, it's 180.
There's like no Pokemon really that just swings for 160. That it actually the red like helps bring Gyarados into range for.
Yeah, there's a lot of chip damage. Unfortunately, it's like Darkrai is the most common thing. Darkrai or Druddigon, but yeah, so there's a bit of chip damage, but I mean 180 is a lot for a stage 1. Now it does have Rampaging Whirlpool, Raging Whirlpool does have very expensive attack cost of 4. But it's all removes the random energy. Oftentimes Gyarados removes its own energy, but I've been playing a bit on ranked mode, and we can talk about ranked mode a bit if you want, but if it randomly removes the psychic energy from the Giratina when they're only playing dark energy, it's just game over.
Yeah, it really does. Even like Beedrill, I guess it's a random energy on there. If you take off the dark energy of Giratina, who cares? But you take off the psychic, it's a whole different game. Basically forces a retreat. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to see the addition of more energy discard, especially with Team Rocket Grunt. I didn't see too much effect of the card, but at one point we went into someone's stream, and game 1, the game ended with 4 Misty Tail. Oh no, 4 Team Rocket Grunt heads. Wow. And then game 2 started with 4 Misty heads and knocked out because Articuno.
That's crazy. Yeah. So I've played Team Rocket Grunts. I think it's a frustrating card. It's there's the biggest comparison you have is to Misty. In my opinion, it's more restrictive than Misty because you need to have your opponent needs to have energy on their active Pokemon, and it it doesn't hit the bench or anything, but it can be very disruptive. And again, back to Beedrill. I'm just gonna keep shouting out the deck. We'll spectate it a bit. Don't worry, guys. Because it removes an extra energy, I think it kicks it to be just like kind of like pretty good. I think it was not amazing before. I don't think Misty is amazing. I think she does amazing things, but half the time she does nothing. So
yeah, I think to me for the longest time I was like Misty isn't broken, or I didn't think it was like that big of a deal. But I just think there's so many strong supporters now that it enables the deck to be really strong, like T18s in general to be really strong. And then Misty is broken because it's already a strong deck,
Yeah, I've long said that if your water deck needs Misty to win, I think you should like rework the deck. But if you can fit Misty in as a kicker, then sometimes you have a turn where you wouldn't want to use a supporter, and you're like, oh, half the time does nothing, but sometimes it'll ramp you 1, sometimes it'll ramp you 3 and just win the game. So the variant swings on Misty are very high. I don't think it's broken, but I think I think if it said flip up to 2 coins, but stop when you get tails, I think it would be just as good, because it's only really the first or the second energy that matters. Usually just the first one, but
yeah, no, I agree. It's like the first one or second one. I always think it's funny. People used to be like, "Oh man, a Misty flipped 100 heads against me." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what mattered after the 97? After the third one? Like, it doesn't matter."
I was watching someone. I think it might have been your stream where they flipped 1,000,000 heads in Misty, and then Gallade just did crazy damage in one shot. Something. I don't know where I saw it. It might have been your stream, but
Yeah, I think on ranked actually. I think I was in Articuno, and like the Misty came up. They like flipped, and it got like 8 heads in a row. And my chat was like, "You're dead now, Ursi." I'm like, "No, my Gallade one shots now, guys." Yeah. Like it didn't one shot before, but it one shots now.
They're releasing cards kind of quickly. I've not ever put a Gallade EX in play. It was on my list of cards to play in the last format, and then they were like new cards. Okay, so I hear it does pretty good on the ranked ladder, so I might check it out. But
I'm enjoying Gallade.
Yeah,
I was telling actually I don't know if people saw the official the ladder board is up. And it has your win rate. I currently have a 64% win rate. I'm really happy about that.
She told me that. I told her that is crazy. Mine is in the 50s. Okay, we're just gonna say that. And it's crazy. I mean, when I played Marvel Snap, my win rate was actually negative. But my cube rate was positive because of the mechanics of that game. But yeah, 65% is. What's the longest streak you've gotten?
I think it's like 7. 9 or 7. But okay. I don't really keep really long win streaks. I just go like 2 win, 3 win, lose. But I don't like lose streak.
Yeah.
So it evens out. I don't know. I enjoy the deck.
Do you know how many games you've played? Because you can says win losses. I've been unfortunately unavailable. That's why I was I'm able to cast today because I was busy yesterday. So.
I think I have too many games
to do as much. I was at a wedding. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be in the watching the bride go down the aisle and be flipping coins on my phone.
Other people are throwing rice. Why won't you flip coins? I have
throwing rice, yeah.
113 games.
Wow.
And I have 64% win rate. It's not bad.
I've played 100 games.
Okay, well, it sounds like you spent a lot of time playing the game too, Krohnos.
You know what? I need to get some tutoring to book you on Metafy.
True. Yeah, this you don't know. I do have Metafy, but I only ever been told to judge one. Okay. 1 second. Cool. I think people should be getting okays to start here, and then we can get into their games.
Sure.
Is there a deck that you want to watch today?
The masses have been DMing me. Let's start with the Beedrill 14T. I believe it's Aiden down in channel 5. The Seahawk, the head judge, even told me his channel before, and he's like, "Okay, go to this channel." I'm pushing for it. So
insane. Let's hop to channel 5 then. Okay, hello, Krohnos. Can you hear me, Krohnos? Wait, I can't hear you now.
Oh no. Oh, what? There it goes.
There it goes.
Yeah, I didn't change anything. I just had to wait a second. Okay.
Okay. It works. Just trying to get up his stream here. Okay, there it is. And I will get it set up for when everyone is ready. Let's see. So their opponent is Darkrai Giratina. Let me double check. There is a two Druddigon list. So what are your thoughts for today's game?
Well, I mean, first off, you kind of hope that you're going first. And you hope they don't start Druddigon. Do they have? I don't have their deck list up yet. Do they have Rocky helmets as well? because those can be rough.
One Rocky helmet, 2 capes.
Those can be rough. You know, please laugh.
Oh, ha ha ha! They can. Well, I was
yeah,
actually
okay,
thinking
well-
they're so annoying to go into. So I was like, yeah, they can be.
All right, well we're getting right into it. Players have matched up, so
Looks like it's gonna be Aiden versus Sneak. Oh.
versus Sneak. Ooh, it puts their rank It puts their rank.
Yeah, it does now.
That's
it's
crazy.
really nice.
All right. Well, Beedrill player predictably starting with a Weedle. It's the only basic in the deck.
Okay,
so
and we
for-
have it live.
The opponent's starting Darkrai again. They have the grass weakness. That's one of the nice things. If you attack with Kakuna and then Beedrill, those two attacks combined are enough to knock out a Darkrai. So
I didn't even think about that. That's super annoying.
Yeah, it's exactly 140 damage because of the weakness. You getting an intermittent black screen?
Yeah, I am. I'm not really sure what's up with that. We may have to change to Sneak's point of view.
Yep.
If that continues. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I mean, they do end up getting that Druddigon right when they need to, but we're going to have a black screen. So why don't we try to hop over to Sneaks? I think they're in literal channel 1.
Channel 1. Let's do that.
Okay, no black screen yet. Just fixing this up for stream to see.
It's not super relevant to the Druddigon, unless they're trying to retreat, which generally you're kind of not. You just want to stay up in the front. To take 20 damage. The Kakuna plus Beedrill attack into Druddigon does exactly 100 damage. So as long as they don't have a cape, it does, or some other form of healing. But right here they're playing Shaman, so it's going to be 10 damage short. And it's going to keep charging at the back line.
We're just gonna have to keep charging up, but it's so sad. I mean, you finally get the paralyze as Kakuna, and you don't even get to do anything with it really, because Druddigon, he doesn't care if he's paralyzed. He's just gonna sit there in the active, which is exactly. His job.
Exactly. He's there to soak up some damage, deal a little bit of chip back until your Darkrai's powered up and your Giratina EX is powered up. So unfortunately, Beedrill's going to have to do 2 attacks. I'm not sure if they run Giovanni, but I would not be surprised if they don't. It also has access to Erica. I played, I don't know, a dozen games on the ladder with Beedrill before I realized, oh, you can put Erica in the deck. Because I was just thinking of it as a bug Pokemon, not as a grass Pokemon. So.
Yeah, that's like the one thing that's confusing with TCG. I sometimes feel like is that you think it's like Pokemon are a certain typing, but they're more grouped together, one might say, in this one. So it looks like we're going to just bellow again. We're going to be able to attach each turn to Darkrai. So we're putting out some consistent damage, but Beedrill could KO this turn, but I don't think it's like the biggest worry, even if he does.
Yeah, so it would take the Beedrill down to 130 HP. Darkrai on its own can do 100. If they have some damage boosting cards like Giovanni or Red. Sneak does play 1 or 2 copies of Red. So 150. So Darkrai would be able to do 120 damage. Still out of range. Got another Erica healing for 40. So that's gonna help a lot. And Sneak's gonna. I felt like Sneak was ahead, but now I feel like they're kind of behind. You know, they need to end their turn in order to charge up the Giratina. So I don't think that's going to happen. Unless they put it up here and take a hit and end their turn, which is very aggressive.
They're putting up Shaman.
Yeah, opting instead to put up Shaman.
Huh. Have to hope we don't have a Sabrina here, right? If Aiden has a Sabrina, Sneak could be in a pretty bad spot, but we have used both of our Ericas.
Yeah, both Ericas. Aiden does play one copy of Sabrina,
Mm-hmm.
so that'd be dangerous. And even if you retreat, they do also play a copy of Cyrus, which is very relevant. Gonna attach a Rocky helmet to the Shaman, does some recoil damage to the Beedrill. Thinking about this other tool to play, ended up putting out the Giratina. I think that I'm expecting them to end their turn then. Yep, the broken space bellow.
Yeah, there's the bellow again, and we have to hope there's some level of Sabrina here. I don't think Aiden. Okay, so Sabrina
Ooh.
is gonna come down.
Aiden also plays 2 potions, by the way. The deck does not play any copies of Pokeball, and instead opts to put in 2 potions, which is, I think, an ambitious choice. I'm definitely keen to try out the list myself. Removing one of the psychic energies is huge here. Giratina is not going to attack.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, right? About the random energy discard just being so disastrous sometimes. Takes off a psychic. I guess there wasn't much else for it to have, but ouch. And Giratina's fighting for his life, but
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think about what you what you do in this scenario. Yeah, I think it has to be a retreat here, because the Darkrai still, does its. Oh, I mean, I guess they did that in case they need to retreat their Giratina again. That's probably why they did that. I was thinking, why wouldn't they do 20 extra damage? But now, if it gets Cyrused up, it can take a hit and then retreat.
I've used both Erica, so it's not the biggest deal. Cyrus is gonna come down.
Cyrus.
You can't red here.
Can't play red. We don't see another Weedle.
Communication. He's looking for it. He's looking for that other Weedle.
They do only play one copy of Cyrus, so if the Giratina retreats,
with the energy pop. I did not think about that with the retreat. I was thinking he'd
I didn't think about that either. So we need to find Leaf here. Just Sneak play Leaf. Sneak plays one copy of Leaf. I don't believe they've played it, so it's kind of Leaf or bust. Yeah, the energy removal will get you. Unlike something like Baby Gyarados, which is kind of an appalling statement on its own, which removes energy. It does 100 damage. 80 is, it's quite a bit smaller, and so the energy removal is often very relevant.
Yeah, and it's just something you don't think about half the time. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think Sneak attached that energy thing they could retreat. Does not seem to be the case, though. And if they don't have Leaf, which I feel like they would have played as quickly as possible, definitely would have conceded. And that's going to be game 1.
That's going to be game 1. Honestly, I didn't think about the energy removal, and I thought Sneak had it, but there you go. That's game 1. We're going to go into game 2. Again, if Sneak had like a second Druddigon or Druddigon, it could have gone a lot different. But just the Beedrill is so aggressive and it really enjoys going first, which is a kind of a rare trait, especially in decks with evolutions.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see how it goes again, but just such a smooth play by Aiden kind of highlights how this deck was able to make it in top 64 when, honestly, I didn't think it was possible when I was looking at these decks yesterday.
Yeah. All right, we've got the Darkrai player going first, starting with Dragon in the active against predictably a Weedle.
Who would have guessed?
Now, what Aiden wants to see is not a Weedle in their hand, because then it's kind of a dead draw, if you will, because it could have been a different card, because they could get out their Weedle for just by using the attack multiply here. So we'll see.
To be the case though, and okay, yes, we have research. We're trying to dig a little bit deeper here. A cape on the Weedle. I mean, I wouldn't really be afraid at this point, but maybe we're just getting it down quickly.
I mean, when you only play two Pokemon and 2 tools, you might as well play it. And the Sneak actually does play a copy of Mars, so you can if you got cards that you're gonna play eventually, you might as well pop them out there. Now I'm curious to see how they play this, if they end up charging the Weedle in the back or if they just go Kakuna in the front and attack. Rocky Helmet on the Drudagon.
Ouch, that's gonna be super annoying if we see a Kakuna this next turn. I feel like you have to attack, but also you just don't want to into a Rocky Helmet.
Yeah, I think you have to attack. The Drugon is not going to heal past that. Sneak does not play any healing cards, so an attack from never mind. They play Shaman again. This is the thing I forgot about.
Gotten you twice now. He's gotten you twice.
It's got me twice. Maybe one of Shaman is a interesting addition, at least in this matchup.
The research again. Aiden's really got all the cards. I mean, maybe minus the evolutions, but the supporters they want and need here.
Yeah, you can see their hand size is quite big. Got a potion to heal off the Weedle. Kakuna, I'm gonna come in with the string shot. Double Kakuna.
That's nice.
That's very nice. No attack. Interesting.
I guess it makes sense though to an extent, right? Because then it would be forcing a 3-hit attack instead of just 2, and Beedrill's gonna have to do 2 regardless because the Shaman.
It makes sense to me. To me, this indicates that they have Beedrill in hand, or that's the play that they're going for. Here's the Beedrill EX with the Crushing Spear, 80 damage, remove random energy from the Drudagon. Go ahead and play your other cape as well.
Yeah. Yep, second energy. I mean, is on the ball here with everything he needs. I mean, he'll hit for 80. Not enough to knock out here, but it's a start.
It's a start. The Darkrai player also nobody doesn't have a Giratina, so they've been attaching their energy and then ending their turn without doing anything. With much of that Psychic Energy, now debating on playing out another Pokemon if they're going to leave the spot open specifically for Giratina EX. And honestly, I kind of agree with the decision here because you would have to end if you want to attack with the Giratina, you're going to need to stall for 3 turns minimum.
Yeah. I mean, we can knock out, but it will put the Beedrill at what? Oh my god, 70 health. So I wonder if we retreat back to the Kakuna and just give the 1 point. Maybe they have a second Beedrill. It seems like it from the hand of the energy attachment, but there's a chance they're just doing it because there's nothing else to do.
I can see they're thinking here. Do I do it? Do I wait for an Erica? Do I put Kakuna in? Because if Beedrill attacks with KO, Darkrai can come in and deal with it itself. So
for sure,
even going in the tank.
It doesn't seem like we have Beedrill though. I feel like we would probably put it down faster. It feels like we're still gonna retreat back to Kakuna though,
the swamp.
And attack with that Drudagon. Wait, why?
Yeah, I think they're.
Is it not 30 damage he does?
It is 20 damage. There's a 30 the Kakuna from Genetic Apex does 30 damage. This is a new Kakuna from Shining Revelry, does 20 damage, but paralyzes you on a coin flip. In addition, I think the paralyze is probably the way you want to go. It's kind of I usually opt to just go for more damage, but paralyze is such a brutal effect to have. Just completely like the Sneak can't retreat the Drudagon here even if they wanted to. But gonna take the chip damage on the Kakuna. I think they're obviously looking for Erica. Ericas and potions to keep their Pokemon healthy, although they have played a potion already.
Yeah, they have used at least 1 potion. Looks like we're gonna Cyrus, but Cyrusing once again, right, means he can't retreat the Drudagon even.
Can't retreat. I think they just want to get the 20 chip damage in. I mean the energy for retreating doesn't matter because Beedrill has one cost retreat. Honestly, I'm expecting Kakuna to come back up, or this that means they don't have another Beedrill. The Aiden I think only plays 1 Cyrus.
Yeah.
I guess they play one Cyrus, one Sabrina. There's only gonna ever be 2 Pokemon on the opposing side, but Druddigon finally going down. Going to be taking 40 damage in return.
Paralyzed, but does it really matter?
I love that it does it checks stuff. I'm sure there's some niche thing in the TCG where it's relevant, but in Pocket it's not super relevant yet. So sometimes I'll attack and forget to flip the coin, and then I'm like, oh wait, I feel bad. All right, Giratina coming down.
Late Giratina for sure.
Very late. The second Druddigon's gonna be a problem. Opting put the cape on the Giratina. Honestly, I would have considered putting it up front because it would mean Kakuna plus Beedrill doesn't get through, but I think Aiden's under a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, I don't know how Aiden really deals with that. I mean, maybe we see an evolution to Beedrill, but there's almost like no reason. Trying to figure out like what you should do here. I don't really know. Looks like we're gonna retreat back to our 90 health Beedrill. That does mean okay. So Erica's gonna come down, which is gonna protect
got the Erica. I mean, it's gonna take 40 damage, or no, 20 damage. I was thinking about the other one. They have a potion, because Darkrai does 100 damage on its own, but Sneak does play 2 copies of Red, so if they have Red, it's gonna be a bad day.
Yeah, it's the only thing is he has to retreat here, right, with a leaf, so maybe it's like safe.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they would need to. I was thinking they were gonna take the knockout, but
they can't
Aiden
do
obviously,
it this turn.
Aiden obviously just looking for. I think they still have another Erica and another potion in their deck, opting for those. Trying to get that's the saving grace that they're looking for.
Yeah,
Oh, I think that was 2. I think those 2 potions played.
Yeah. So we're gonna reshuffle hands with that Iono.
Yeah, I don't know. Very aggressive card at digging through your deck. So if you're, I don't think it's correct in every deck, but if you are looking for a very specific card, I think it's definitely an addition that you can go for. And there you go, Aiden finding their second Beedrill, and definitely looking for Erica and other things. I'm not sure how many cards are left in their deck, but that's gonna be a second point.
Yeah, that's a nice second point for Aiden. I mean, I almost wonder if you still force a Sabrina next turn, right? But because obviously you could knock out the Shaman. I guess if they attack this turn, there won't really be a. Maybe it's okay to have. They'll go down to 2 energies on the Giratina, so you wouldn't be able to stop them from retreating again.
Yeah, I think. Oh, they're gonna. They're thinking. What do they want to do? Going in the tank. I think. I mean, yeah, I think Mars is a great decision here. Aiden, the Beedrill player, is just looking for Erica, right? Erica would let them stall out for a lot longer, or not stall out. They would, get an extra turn of attacking off.
Yeah,
And we have to make a choice here.
Looks like we're just gonna attack into the Beedrill though. That's gonna get 2 points of Sneak. I'm not really sure if Sneak can. I mean, I'm not sure if Aiden can come back from this. Maybe I'm like underestimating him a bit too much.
Yeah, I mean the Giratina can't attack, so it's the Darkrai will do 100 damage. So if they find a healing card or Team Rocket Grunt, how many can we get? 7 heads?
That would actually. Oh my God, 2, 3, 4. Okay,
only 4.
Just shot. I guess.
It's still not a relevant threshold because it's gonna end up doing.
Needed one more.
They needed one more. The Sneak looking for red to seal the game.
Too bad we didn't get Erica's. Erica's, I feel like, actually would have been the answer to win the game, right?
Yeah, even a potion here. I think they used an extra potion, but any form of a little bit of extra healing. If they didn't take an extra 20 chip damage from an energy or from a Drudagon or a Rocky Helmet, that'd been the game. That was a very close game. Game 2 is going to go to Darkrai Giratina player.
Yeah, that's gonna be game 2. That means we're going into game 3. We'll have to see if Aiden or Sneak will be able to pull this out. I think though. Oh, it was red was the +20. For some reason, I was second there. I was like,
red.
wait.
Yeah, red was the +20.
I
And I looked at the the victory sheet. They did 500 damage that game. The Beedrill survived 500 damage. Well, they didn't survive 500 damage, but that's what it took to take them down.
Oh wow. Here. We have them getting into game 3 now. What are some changes in what they're doing that you want to see in this next game?
I don't know. I feel like both players played that game quite well. The Giratina not being able to charge up indefinitely is very tricky. It ended the game with 2 energy on it, never got to attack. Sneak was at one point considering putting down I think a second Darkrai, maybe a second Drudagon, which maybe they could have done and opted to do that instead of playing down a Giratina, but gotta find the Giratina here on turn 1, which is what you want to see. Going first, you can actually charge, you can use a Rogue Space Bell and add an energy.
Yeah, it's been no problem doing the bellow here behind the Drudagon now. Cape onto Giratina this time instead of Drudagon straight off.
I think this Cape is very aggressive. Now, Aiden does play 1 copy of Iono, so it's possible they could have gotten shuffled away. But I think I would personally hold it and wait to see what they do, right? I mean, okay, it got shuffled away, so I'm immediately wrong if you really wanted the Cape. But you can imagine if they go Kakuna, Beedrill, KO your Drudagon, the Cape would have made it take an extra attack. Or I guess you would stall for 2 Beedrill attacks, but it would still, that would make it take an extra turn.
Yeah,
Kakuna,
and
come down.
really nice to get the Kakuna on curve every single game so far on Aiden's side.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. Drudagon's not paralyzed, so it could opt to retreat. Retreat into what, though, right now?
Yeah, definitely no choice on that retreat. Pokeball. It is going to finally find a Darkrai. This time, I mean, I guess Kakuna has 20 more health than it would have if it had only, had Darkrai last turn.
Yeah, second Drudagon's going to be very brutal here. Because they're gonna opt to end their turn, charge up the Giratina, but the Drudagon could go down, and if it goes down, the Giratina EX cannot attack. It needs 1 more Psychic, so the second Drudagon stall is huge.
Yeah, the second Drudagon does so much in this matchup. I feel like there's only, I mean, it stops Sabrina's from really doing anything, but luckily Aiden is gonna find another Weedle here. And because they're no Shaman, we'll be able to 2-shot all of the Drudagons, which will be pretty nice.
The Weedle being played there actually brought something up to my attention. Of course, with the potion, which is nice, but when they attacked with the Weedle at the start and got another one, and then they opted not to play it instead, so that they could Iono it away, looking for the evolution Pokemon they were after.
That's a great point. Yeah, I know. It's interesting.
Or does it put on the bench? Maybe they didn't do that. Maybe I'm being silly.
I'm not sure which one it is. There's some Pokemon that put into your hand. I'm like, why would I want this? But I know it's a great point for that. We're gonna have a Bellow, so we're gonna be up to 3 Psychic Energies, officially able to swing with the Giratina EX now. Beedrill is gonna be able to attack again, but there is a Kakuna. I almost wonder if you retreat back to the Kakuna and not risk your Beedrill for another turn out here in the active.
that's true, but Erica coming down, Beedrill staying quite healthy at 180 hit points. You're gonna, unfortunately, it's a 2-shot the Drudagon, but it's gonna take 40 minimum from that. But the Giratina is now charged up.
Yeah, Giratina is ready at any time, though they're definitely going to be a bit concerned, I think, about using a Leaf too early to retreat, and that's unless they decide to power up for the next 2 turns, which there's not the time for. I don't think it's going to be an option here. Your mic just cut out again if you're saying something.
There we go.
Oh, there it goes.
It has a nice mute feature when you tap it, so I was just muted while I was talking to the dog.
Well, now you understand why it happens to me all the time.
Yeah, there's also a glowing light on it saying that it's active, and I just didn't notice it. My dog likes to go into the cables, and so I was worried that he he yoinked something out.
Understandable.
This scenario here is kind of maybe you do want the 30 damage Kakuna.
It almost feels like it in this situation, but in other matchups, I'm sure the paralyze is really, really nice.
Yeah, and sometimes it just the paralyze will save you, but specifically here it's yep, you can't retreat.
Yep, Shaman's gonna heal again. I mean, Drudagon's going to 20, which really isn't gonna do much here.
Yes, the Drudagon's definitely gonna go down next turn. Question is what's gonna happen afterwards. Aiden gonna be looking for second Beedrill EX.
Okay, let's say we are gonna attach to our the Darkrai. We have a Kakuna who's gonna be down to 40 health, I guess, if he attacks again and knocks out this Drudagon. Would you evolve here if given the chance to?
What is the downside to evolving here?
I don't really think anything, I guess, to some extent.
Yeah, they only have 2 Pokemon. Anyway, so the Sneak is gonna have to win by KOing both. Does more damage. I guess maybe there's a paralysis strat that if you got some very narrow line where you're only gonna win if you paralyze something several turns. But I think just getting in with the Beedrill is correct. Giratina does do 130 damage though.
Yeah, and that's gonna be able to knock out the Beedrill here. Does Aiden run Mars at all? I don't think so. I would just check.
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, because like this world you want almost 2 points to be taken, so you can go down to 1 if you decide to Mars.
Now they do run 2 copies of Team Rocket Grunt, and they haven't played any, so they would need to remove 3 psychic energies here.
I would be asking for a lot, but let's see.
Seeing going in the tank.
Looks like we're gonna Cyrus.
Deciding on what to do.
Seems that way. I feel like I wouldn't Cyrus up, just if only for the fact that like the other ones. Yes, it only survives 1 more turn because like the Darkrai.
I mean, the Darkrai could do 20 damage to the back one, right? And then the Giratina gets the KO. So
that's true. I thought we had already done.
Consideration is here.
I thought we'd already done the attach.
No, they just did it. Now they could get Team Rocket grunted out of the game here.
Always fun.
They need to get 3 heads.
Let's see. Instead, they're just gonna attack though. There's 20 back into himself to put him at 150.
There's 2 points.
Yep, 2 nice points for Sneaky now. I mean, maybe we'll see that Team Rocket Grunt. I wouldn't be surprised if we act. Yep, there comes Team Rocket Grunt, like you said, and let's see if they
play
hit
your
the head.
outs.
Nope.
Oof.
I think that's game.
I think that's game. You know, I think the only other thing that could have saved here was Erica, which would let you, I guess maybe even a potion. will you survive for one more hit? But then there's still got a lot going on. Sneak has the red, not necessary in this position. Able to put out 170 damage on one turn through Darkrai plus red plus Giratina EX attack. That's gonna see our Beedrill. It's gonna see them lose the match, and so they got knocked out of the tournament. But congrats to them in main top 64. Our Giratina EX player is gonna move on to top 32.
Yeah, really great game by them, even if the Beedrill did end up losing here. I'm just going to quickly check to see if we have any more games we have left. We have, I think, one game still going, but they started 17 minutes ago. So I don't think they will be going much longer here. I don't even know you could do a 17-minute game. So we'll check out real quick the different matchups to see what people are going to be facing off in the matchups we already do know about. It looks like we have some fighting decks against fighting decks. There's a Gallade Hitmonlee against an Arceus Dialga, exactly what he wanted for sure. There's Charizard versus Darkrai Giratina. Meowscarada Arceus has survived another round, going against Darkrai Arceus.
And I see a Magnezone fighting deck here. Honestly, I kind of love to see Charizard, but the Meowscarada deck features new things, so I think we might want to check that out. Oh, there's the other Meowscarada Beedrill player did actually make it through. I think the mirror matches are not as interesting. Sorry about that. That's my dog. Not as interesting to spectate, but see a good mix of decks still.
Yeah, for sure. Even the Giratina Mewtwo's, I think, are another really interesting deck that I'm gonna definitely have to check out later.
But I've been hearing people say it's Giratina Mewtwo 17 trainers. Yeah, because they only play one copy of Mewtwo EX.
Yeah, I've seen some people say that as well. It's gonna be interesting to see what they decide to do. But yeah, no, completely. I am curious how they'll do as the tournament progresses. It looks like our number one. I'm gonna see our player still has not completed their. It's a long game. Very long game 3. Are there any games here that you would want to see, or any matchups you find really interesting?
I think let's either check out the Charizard the Charizard versus, I think it's Arceus match, or the Meowscarada Arceus. Let's do Meowscarada. It's another grass deck spectating, going up against Dialga Arceus. But we've seen Charizard over the years, and so Charizard got a bit of an extra tool and a better Charmander and better Charmeleon, in my opinion. So that's one of the reasons they make the pot. But let's take a look at that one for the next round, just to start.
Sorry.
It's going to be Suka with Meowscarada Arceus EX versus
Yuka
12 with Dialga, or with Darkrai EX and Arceus EX.
Yeah, that's why I was confused for a second. I was like, wait, there's a Dialga versus Meowscarada Arceus?
No, I'm so sorry. Generation 4 was the one I skipped and had to go back to, so I mess up the names all the time.
Okay, I kept saying Palkia Arceus for the longest time.
Yeah. It doesn't help that they all end with A, right? The Giratina, Palkia, Dialga,
Darkrai.
If you excuse me for a moment, I'm gonna have to put my dog up because he's very excited that we're common. That I'm speaking a whole bunch, but it's gonna be a bit disruptive. So I'll step away for just 1 minute.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how some of these decks do end up performing here. There is that Beedrill Meowscarada that's still going. Awa in top 32 here. I was talking to AP Cheese at this, and they were telling me Awa that they both thought that Awa's list was really, really good. I love seeing how well Weavile is doing, but only one shall continue from this one. Let's see here. It does look like our last game has just completed. We did already decide who. Oh no, it was the Mewtwo MEWEX that ends up losing the game here. But I'm gonna quickly see. I'm gonna quickly let all of our players know that they can get into their top 32 matches. So 1 second here. Let's see. Give me 1 second.
Have they finished up their match, or are we getting
Yep,
into
they did.
They did. Looks like.
MEWEX lost to Darkrai Giratina.
Yeah. I will say that the deck is labeled in Limitless. You see, Mew and Mewtwo. The deck is 1 Giratina, 1 Arceus, 1 Mew, 1 Mewtwo.
Oh, interesting.
So it's 4 1-ofs, which is very interesting. And then they have a lot of 1-off trainers. I might check that deck out on ranked sometime. We'll see. So, do you know what channel we're hopping over to?
I'm not yet. I was just about to check that. I was just telling people that they could start when they're ready. We want to watch Suka, who is a pretty common top 64 player. So we're going to hop into channel 67. At least personally, I think I want to watch the Meowscarada position.
All right. I'll see you there. I don't know. I was waiting for you to jump so I could follow you. I have too many tabs.
Tabs? Let's see. I'm just getting up the game, guys. And we'll be getting into our top 32 now. I'm super excited to get to watch this matchup. I think it's going to be an interesting one for sure. Grass, once again, strong for... strong against the Darkrai. So they could be doing upwards of 150 this turn, or this game. So it'll be really interesting, I think. Let's see.
Carnivine makes sense. I hadn't looked at the deck list, but if you're playing Arceus, you're playing Grass, you know, Carnivine is a 1-cost attack that's aggressive. They are playing 2 copies of the Meowscarada line, 2 Carnivine, 1 Arceus EX, and 1 baby Arceus. I think just to enable, mostly just to enable the Carnivines and maybe do 100 damage. Because ideally you don't want to lose a Meowscarada and then Arceus EX. You want to make them have to KO 3 different Pokemon.
Yeah, for sure. That's like the whole strength of running, we're checking out deck list. Running some 1-point Pokemon in your 2-point deck is being able to just, you know, sacrifice the 1-pointers before anything else.
Yep, they're checking their opponent's deck list here. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah. Which is totally understandable.
It's kind of I play a lot on. I'll be playing on my phone and I have it up on my desktop so I can just see up there. But Pokemon Pocket's it's a mobile game, and sometimes I'm walking my dog and I'm playing in a tournament. It's a good habit to check deck lists all the time. We do play an open deck list format here in the Ursiiday Pocket Weekly, so you know what cards you need to play around, if any, and it's good to keep in mind.
Yeah, I love seeing it. It's definitely a skill that players need in tournaments, is checking the deck list and not being afraid to. But we are going to be seeing that evolution directly into... I don't remember his name.
When I did a full set review. I think it's Florgato.
Yeah, Florgato. I know Gato is in the name. That's Florgato.
I literally did not know what it was, or I knew it existed, but I wasn't sure.
Meowscarada was the starter that I picked in Scarlet and Violet, so I think it's
Okay.
a fun one.
Sprigatito is so cute.
Yeah, exactly. Sprigatito is the cutest, but it looks like we're going to be leafing back behind a Gerudogon now. They're afraid of leaving this Arceus in the active spot, but another 50 damage does sound pretty disastrous.
Looks like a familiar lineup other than Arceus EX being swapped out. Carmine's going to be hitting for 50, and again, Meowscarada does 150 damage to, or sorry, 130 damage to EX Pokemon, which can be further boosted with Red to 150. So very, very threatening.
Yeah, that is not something you want to be seeing right now, I feel like. I mean, it looks like we are immediately going to have that Meowscarada down, but we don't want to use it just yet because Meowscarada only gets that boost against against EX Pokemon. I think you tapped your mic again.
Thank you, Ursiiday. I did. Yeah, Carnivine does hit for 50, but the Druddigon has 100 HP. But again, Shaman gonna take it just out of range, so it's gonna take 3 hits to get through this.
Yeah, Shaman is so nice, especially for attacks that put you just on the threshold of getting knocked out. Yeah. Honestly, I think that some of these healing Pokemon are gonna be so strong. Wigglytuff is one that I have my eye on from this new set, but obviously,
I think it's got its eye on a lot of people as well. Take a look at the full art version, but
he's a cutie. He's a cutie.
She's a cutie. Look, I've got it. I made it. I'm one of several people immediately made a Twitch emote of the art because it's great. So in this position, you know, Druddigon he gets 10 HP. I wonder if this is a consideration for a lot of people have opted to play Red instead of Giovanni.
Mm-hmm.
But Giovanni would get through in this situation. So I wonder if there's any consideration for people to still include 1-up or go 1-1 for future deck building. Obviously, neither player has it here.
Yeah, when it comes to Red and Giovanni, I feel like it's like pretty similar to like the first week of every set. You're always running like just the new cards. I think Giovanni has a place in new decks, especially like I've been playing the late EX a lot, and I feel like there's decks that lose against you that if they had just like an extra 10 damage into your Marshadow or your Hitmonlee, it would be so much better. So I could definitely see a Giovanni in the future. I remember the first week Cyrus came out, everyone was running 2 of Cyrus, and there was no Sabrinas to be seen.
I think Sabrina is one of the most powerful supporters in the game. I think Cyrus is certainly up there, but you know, you've got Professor's Research is the #1. If there's a tier list, it's the only one in S tier. But I would put Sabrina and Cyrus in A.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, like
time is getting called here.
Leaf is definitely up there. Did they time out their turn?
No, their opponent went to 7 seconds and passed.
Okay. Going into the tank. The Meowscarada is on the bench with an energy charge, threatening 130 damage to any of the EX Pokemon that come in. So while the Arceus is ready, the Arceus EX for the opponent is ready to go, it's gonna it can't come in right away, or it's gonna face some issues. And gonna end up charging up our own Arceus EX.
Yeah, we love. I mean, I love seeing this spread in this deck of Arceus EX and Baby Arceus. Basically, no one ran Baby Arceus at all last set during Triumphant Light.
I only ran it when I had one. I only had one Arceus EX for a while, and it wasn't in any tournaments either. It was just on the random part. But clearly, just an enabler here for Carnivine, and then you know maybe you'll end up doing 100 damage, or it's another 1-point sacrifice that you can use before your own Arceus EX is charged up.
Yeah, but in this case, it's definitely got a use. I mean, it is an enabler, but like it's a 1-point deck with a single 2-pointer in it, and you don't want to have to put in 2 Arceus EXs or just to increase the chance that you're running Carnivine. So running just the one of Arceus and one of Arceus EX gives a much higher chance of just starting with a 1-point attacker like you want. Yeah.
And in this position here, you know, the Carnivine's gonna it would take itself out by KOing the Drudagon, but check the deck list again. But you know, this is a one point down. Then you've got Meowscarada on another RCS down, and you're charging up your own RCS EX. So I think the game is favored towards Suka here.
Yeah, I think the game definitely favored for Suka. Back one thing. Yeah, it looks like we're like leafing through our hand right now, trying to decide what exactly the play is here. I think they don't want to attack and.
Yeah, because if you attack, then your opponent gets the first hit. I could see attacking and putting up the baby RCS. They showed us Cyrus, so I'm interested why they didn't Cyrus last turn to pull up the RCS, and you could put up your Meowscarada and get the KO. I might be missing something, but I was thinking about that play last turn.
Why no Cyrus, says it. Enigma Bob. Oh, they've been a minute and a half behind, though.
Hey, Enigma Bob, why no Cyrus? Well, I like to not talk about the cards that are in the player's hands, but if they're gonna, you know, go through them and show us. Okay, opting to do the attack. I expect them to put up the baby Arceus here, force the opponent to have Sabrina if they want to KO something, or if they want to attack something else. If they have Sabrina, they can't use Red or Giovanni. So they would need to put the energy on the Darkrai to get the 20 damage, but then the Arceus wouldn't be able to attack.
Yeah.
I see the Shaman pulled up.
They
actually went with the Meowscarada. I guess the Meowscarada does KO Shaman on its own. Just it does 60 damage.
Yeah, it kind of KOs anything right now, so I feel like there would be a big hope by Yuka to get this Meowscarada dealt with as quickly as possible.
Here comes another Drudagon. We're gonna retreat back into it. I think that's kind of just delaying.
Yeah, I don't know that I would want to do that. I mean, maybe it's still the play, but I would be so worried for that Cyrus to be coming down at any time. Arceus is still in range of Suka's Meowscarada, who is halfway powered up now. Yuka is running a Mars, Red, Sabrina, and a Cyrus and 2 Leafs, so they could still leaf back to that Drudagon. And Suka is running 1 Cyrus, 1 Leaf, 1 Red, and 1 Sabrina.
See a Sabrina. I expect the baby Arceus to come out. There we go. You don't want to. I guess they already attached their energy, but just doing that as a. I guess forces it's like a tempo play, but you can see another Sprigatito coming down. Maybe. Yep.
Okay.
And then we would need a leaf to be able to retreat here.
And there's the leaf.
It's the leaf. Nice full art. Retreat. I expect the Meowscarada to come out and attack. 60 to the Shaman. And then Yuka can do 110, and if they have another basic, 130, plus 20 from the Darkrai EX, which is enough to KO Meowscarada, but you've got a threatening Arceus EX on the bench.
Yeah, very threatening. I mean, even Arceus EX on Suka's side ends up KOing if we have Red, right? I feel like Suka's in a really nice position right now.
Yeah, red is kind of huge. It's plus 20 damage, and again, we were talking about earlier and talking about Giovanni. I think when I did my initial set review, which you can find it on the YouTube channel, the whole thing, I didn't do a 20-minute review of the highlights. I did every single card. I said that most decks are probably not going to run 2 copies of red, unless there's like really specific thresholds that you're trying to hit, and the RCS being able to KO things through a cape is a very relevant threshold.
Yeah, for sure.
They are playing 2. Oh no, the Meowscarada. Each player is only playing 1 copy here. Oh, I'm so smart. You see 20 damage on the Meowscarada from the Darkrai EX's ability.
Ooh. That can be a KO here. The question's gonna be is, does Suka have another basic to make his own Arceus, you know, that much stronger? I mean, to be able to do the extra 20 damage you need to have at 130.
Yep, they could use some things as well. Do they even play another basic? Because they've got one
Carnivine.
Oh, that's the Carnivine. I was gonna say they've got two Sprigatito down. They got two Arceus down, one Carnivine down. So they're specifically looking for Carnivine. Get a Pokemon communicate away. This it's a guaranteed Carnivine. That's the only other Pokemon in the deck.
Now the question is, do we have red? Because we need an additional 10 damage still. And it's gonna be red. That's gonna be game for
red.
Suka.
Give him the hat tip. That's gonna be game 1. It's very interesting. Game 1. It's very.
I think that is game 1. Yep.
Let me see.
So.
You can't enter the matchup. Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna clear the board so that Suka and Suka and Yuka can get set up, and then we'll be getting into game 2 here in a second.
Hey viewers, put 1 in chat if you think red is better than Giovanni, or put 2 in chat if you think it's the other way.
What if they just don't think either?
Well, one of them has to be better than the other.
No, it doesn't.
You think they could possibly be exactly the same value?
I think they can be roughly the same, yeah. With like indiscernible amount different.
I think we will see a bit of a return of Giovanni. The existence of red in the format it's a bit of incentive to not play EX cards, right? If people are playing a lot of red, you're not play as many. So I think there's gonna be a balance that you end up seeing. That's why I said you might end up seeing 1/1 Giovanni red, because sometimes you only need 10 extra damage. Back in the game, starting with the Carnivine versus Druddigon. Our Meowscarada player going first, getting out a Sprigatito on the bench as well.
Let's see. Yep, we're gonna go on and pass on that Carnivine's in the active. Going first, not always the best thing, but Yuka will get to have that energy advantage since they're going second.
Yeah. See, another Druddigon means Sabrina's value is a bit diminished here. Got the Darkrai EX, of course, with the extra 20 damage just from attaching the energy. Are we gonna see any other Pokemon, or is it?
Let's see, just the Darkrai so far.
Just the Darkrai.
Going first does mean Suka will be able to start evolving here, though, which is going to be huge.
Yeah, looking for the Arceus now. Chatters at home, Suka did have their Pokeball last turn, but they held it because, in the off chance that they drew a basic, it would mean the Pokeball is more likely to find the Arceus EX that they were after, which is something to keep in mind. You don't always want to rip your research and your Pokeballs on turn 1 if you're after something specific. Gonna get the 50 damage here.
Let's see. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot with especially Yuka's variation, type of deck, not so much Suka's, where people are holding those Pokeballs longer and researching first. Just because there's so many basics, and the basics are the ones you want to hit, right? It's not like they're trying to evolve in the way that Suka's deck is. Okay,
so we end up with the cape.
I mean, no cape on Druddigon yet. Will we see one come down? Because otherwise, Suka's going to take their first point here.
Oh, thanks mods for running the poll. Which card is better? Red currently in the lead. Guys, make sure you vote. It'll be up for... it might be over by the time you hear this, actually. Because we were playing on a bit of a delay to... as part of the broadcast.
Let's see... Okay, we do draw
Has
a
to turn
red
back.
here. I don't think that's what we wanted. I definitely think we wanted like a cape for a Carnivine or something like that.
Yeah.
To keep him alive. But Suka's
I
been
think
known
we
to.
I think we need to take the KO here though.
Yeah, exactly. I think Suka's gonna want to just go in and KO and allow himself to be knocked out too. There's gonna be an issue with that where Darkrai could come up and attack, right? But none of our Pokemon really are concerned about that right now.
Yeah, the Darkrai EX would do, you know, again can do 100 damage on its own. If they had red, it doesn't matter. Meowscarada and Arceus don't take extra damage because they're not EX Pokemon. So I think the expect damage is nice of 100. So I don't expect Darkrai to come up here because the Meowscarada would have a big crackback, doing 130 damage plus weakness. It's 150 to the Darkrai EX.
Okay, I mean, we put up our Arceus, they put up a Druddigon. I kind of think Meowscarada would have been my play to put forward. There's no way it gets knocked
put up
out.
the Meowscarada.
But
I guess by putting Arceus forward, you prevent the Darkrai damage here for the 20, so that Cyrus can't grab your Meowscarada. Sabrina still can, but that's the only thing that I consider, because I've attacked with the can't remember the name of the attack, deal 100 damage, maybe it's Judgment, for energy, but I don't think it's gonna end up getting 400 extra damage. Mars is gonna come down, gonna redraw to 2 cards.
oh, I see the poll you're talking about now. I see my mods have betrayed me. They didn't even do the correct poll.
Yeah, they didn't even do the correct poll. I see there's a couple 3s in chat because to say Ursi is right, you know.
Yeah. Mods
Right.
betrayed.
Still majority red. I think red certainly has a more powerful effect. But I expect to see both kind of come into play. We got Mars, but we still ended up with another Carnivine and a Leaf, which is kind of exactly what our player wanted to see, so they could hit down this Druddigon without damaging their Meowscarada.
Yeah, so it looks like we are gonna have a Pokeball, but yeah, Carnivine's exactly what they wanted because they can still swing here. It's kind of sad putting up the Arceus, but I guess it did really give us some information, right, about what was in their hand. I do think if they had a Sabrina in hand, they would have just put up the Meowscarada.
I agree.
We're gonna have that Arceus come down now as well for Yuka. Oh man, I'm just sitting here like Sabrina would be so strong right now. Sabrina would be so strong.
Yeah, Sabrina would be so strong. I mean, Cyrus is, now you're gonna need to find another Leaf for retreat. I think Yuka's probably hoping to get either the Shaman or, I mean, what even else? The Shaman or a giant cape for your Druddigon.
Let's see.
Sabrina, put up the Arceus, attach an energy. Now I have two damage Pokemon, but the opponent only plays 1 copy of Cyrus. Oh, yep.
For a moment, I covered chat. I was like, we cannot have this. But that's fine.
People switch their view very.
I've had some interesting ones before, but
very, very quickly, yeah.
Let's see. I mean, I feel like Yuka's like kind of reached like a what's the word? Oh my god, I'm trying to remember the correct word. Stall, but that's not the correct one I'm thinking of. Like when you're playing chicken, almost.
Yeah, it's whoever puts the thing up first loses. That's what in the genetic Apex meta, we did have Giant Cape. It was whoever attacks with their Charizard first in the mirror loses, because then the other Charizard comes up. Same with Mewtwo.
Yeah, but it almost feels like
after doing 20.
that's like not fully the case here, right? Because like
Yeah.
we're gonna knock out the Drudagon regardless, and then we're still gonna finish off basically anything with the Meowscarada.
Yeah. The fact that the Drudagon was not able to chip heal up to at least 60 here, I expect a retreat into Carnivine and take the KO, and then you're 1 point off. But the Arceus EX and the Darkrai EX very vulnerable to Meowscarada. Don't want to get in there, but maybe we're just gonna power up the baby Arceus and leave it in.
I mean, I can even see us using it to retreat, but yeah, one thought I had earlier, though I guess it really doesn't matter, is the baby Arceus can one-shot Drudagon if it actually got powered up, right?
Yeah. So the attack does 100 damage, Power Blast, and discards a random energy from itself, which
such a bad effect.
For energy. It's not a great attack, but it does enable the other cards, which is the reason. Now Arceus EX has a fantastic attack, and also enables them, so it's very pushed in my opinion.
Yeah, yep, we are gonna see that retreat back, and that's gonna be 0.2 for Suka. Who would you rather have bring up for Yuka, the Darkrai or the Arceus?
I mean, if they put up the Darkrai, it gets KO'd by Meowscarada, so I expect them to put up the Arceus. Because Meowscarada does 130 plus the weakness would get there. So they need to have someone playing. Even this Arceus EX, it can deal. Right now it's only dealing 90 damage, but if they get 2 more basics, it could deal up to 130. Okay, now it's at 110 damage. It's gonna. I mean, our Meowscarada player, with the giant cape.
Ooh.
So that might seal the deal. Meowscarada does 130, but that's
Yeah,
even with
can't
red,
do
it's
that.
not gonna get. It's not get. Even with red, it's not gonna get up to there.
Yuka takes 0.2.
I think their out could be Sabrina. If the opponent doesn't have Leaf.
I mean, I think if they have oh, we don't have Sabrina.
We don't have Sabrina.
We do have Cape though. It looks like now.
Wait, giant cape. Here to save the day, 160 also out of Arceus range. Arceus does 130 if you have 4 if you have 4 Pokemon in play. The Darkrai EX will do 20 damage, which brings it up to 150, but Meowscarada is at 160 HP, so that's a fantastic draw for Suka here.
Yeah.
There you go. Now suddenly the Arceus players on the they're hoping for Sabrina, hoping for Cyrus. I think they played their Sabrina already. I don't think they played their Cyrus.
They definitely used Sabrina because we put oh my god, was it that we
we had to move up the Arceus, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like what's your red gonna do now, by the way? Just gonna state that real quick. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
That being said, however, it's a tough spot to be in, right? Like,
very tough.
Suka definitely was searching for an out. They found it, but at the same time, I feel a little bit worried, right? I feel like they have more outs. The red is dead in Yuka's deck right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, red.
Yeah, I think it's the only play you can make is retreat here, but you can attach the energy to chip damage, and then you're looking for Leaf to get your Arceus out. Let me see how many copies of Leaf they played. They played 2 copies of Leaf. I'm not sure if they've played any. Memory is failing me. Gonna opt to charge up the other Darkrai. I would have personally opted to charge up the damaged Arceus EX on the bench, so that you could possibly Leaf and attack the next. Oh no, I guess the Darkrai needs to do the chip heal. Suka here does find red, does 150 damage, gonna take 2 points, and that's gonna be game 2 and the match.
Yeah, really, really nice job by Suka. Really showing just why Meowscarada is honestly carrying him through the matches, right?
Yeah. So let's see if we have it looks like there's 2 other games still going, if you want to hop into either of those 2. I'm not sure how far they are in. Some decks that have advanced. There's the Mewtwo Giratina deck advanced. the Meowscarada Beedrill EX deck advanced. Although we have been watching a bunch of grass decks, so maybe let's opt to check out something else. The Charizard player advanced.
Trying to see who is still playing here because there's some people in our top 32 who are still playing. That one just finished. And
oh yeah, one just finished. There's only one left, which is
I'll see if I can get it up quickly, just because there's in a Twitch
sure, let me
channel.
see. Let me see if I can figure out which channel they're in.
There's a Twitch channel. This one.
Yeah, on Twitch channel. I'll pull up the Twitch channel.
They're 2-2 right now out of BO3. I'll send you the link. And then
I'm ready on it.
Okay, perfect. I'll see if I can get it.
Yeah,
up in time
2 points. 2 points. It's a Giratina EX facing down a Giratina EX. Except the one it's facing down only has 2 psychic energy. And our player, the Twitch streamer, is in the tank, but honestly, because the opponent only has has 2 psychic energy, doesn't have enough to attack. I don't know that the opponent can do anything here.
Yeah, this is a rough spot to be in. For it's Mforce, I believe is his name.
Yeah. So we're gonna end up Sabrina-ing here, do a calculate attack for 130 into the opposing Giratina. And the opponent Habu is forced to retreat, spend their energy, and there you go. That's the end of the game already. That's gonna wrap up.
Oh, yep,
the
that's
top
game.
32.
Top 32 done just like that. We'll bring up the meta breakdown so chat can see what our top 16 is looking like. I definitely think you have a point. We've watched a lot of grass decks thus far.
Yeah.
Did you say if you wanted to watch one or the other?
You know, we've seen some Giratina, but we haven't seen Gallade yet. And Gallade's one of the more popular decks, so I think we should check out Gallade. These are different archetypes that are still live in top 16. We've got a Gallade EX player. We've got Giratina Mewtwo, another Gallade, another Giratina Mewtwo, Giratina Darkrai, a Gyarados player, 2 Weavile Darkrai players, Meowscarada Beedrill, another Giratina Darkrai, another Meowscarada Charizard, Gallade, Giratina Darkrai, 1 Dialga Arceus, and then another Giratina Darkrai. So Giratina Darkrai is still kind of advancing, but also had the biggest chunk in the top cut. So not too surprising that it's around the top 16 as well.
Yeah, definitely not too surprising. So you said we're gonna watch Gallade. We haven't really watched Darkrai Giratina yet, or the Darkrai Mewtwo. Would you like to watch Danx versus Jody?
Sure. Let's check that out. Jody playing the Giratina Mewtwo list. They play 2 Giratina EX, 1 Mewtwo EX. Does have the type advantage into the Gallade player, but having to put a lot of energy on your Pokemon means that the Gallade EX hits hard.
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously it opens up a lot of turns for the Gallade player to get set up, but how do you end up capitalizing on that? Because if you let Mewtwo swing last, he does hit for 170 with that type advantage. Just like we're gonna hop to channel 21. It looks like. Let me just double check on Definite real quick, and then I'm gonna hop in. Let's go. Wait, they're not streaming. 1 second. Please stream. We can hop on over there while they get it set up. Let's see how these are doing.
Hello. There we go. I think my microphone stops working every time I hop channels. That's fun.
It seems very
Just
odd.
a couple seconds, I wait a bit, and then it works again.
That's odd.
Looks like they started their stream. Let's see.
Out. Let me bring it up and we're going to get into top 16 now. We're officially in prizing range.
Yeah, in pricing range. If you guys didn't know, the Ursiiday Pocket Weekly, we've got a great sponsor that lets us run these every week. You want to tell us about the sponsor?
Yeah, sure.
mean, I
Yeah,
can
we
do
have a
it,
fantastic sponsor. I'm really glad that we are able to work with XP Collect. They're a card shop up in New Jersey that honestly works with most different types of cards. If you guys are interested in any type of card game, Arcana, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and they have been awesome enough to put up that 400 USD prize pool. We're so thankful that they are our sponsor. They've been sponsoring us since week 1 of Pocket being out. So even as a really fledgling competitive scene, they've really helped us grow and maintain this grassroots scene that we see every single week. So if you guys are interested in pre-ordering any type of cards, definitely recommend checking out XP Collect. If you're interested, I think it's in Destined Rivals. I know it's like a Team Rocket throwback. What do you mean, Krohnos?
Yeah,
He is playing the game.
I believe one of no, he's got a Farfetch'd in play, and it's not on his deck list. I think he's playing a ranked game or something right now. He's playing Rampardos. Or sorry, the person that we were watching is searching. I think their opponent is not.
Oh.
Which is
Leave that to the judges. They'll figure it out.
Yep. We'll figure it out.
Leave that to the judges. Let's see here. Hopefully we'll get up into this shortly.
Is there another one that we can hop over to?
Let's see here. One moment. Let's see if there's another game we want to watch. 1 second. Yeah, our sponsor is absolutely insanely. We're so happy that we have them for this community. But you guys, I think it's oh my god, what is the command? I think Young Mung will know it at the time. So let's see.
Exclamation mark sponsor? Or is it for the specific?
No, there's like a new a text thing. There's a new text thing for I'll just leave this in. That you can text to be on the oh my god word that I can't think of, on their pre-order text messages for the newest set of Pokemon coming out.
Oh, that's cool.
They are going to be getting in here in 1 second.
It looks like they are going to be jumping in.
Oh, we get this in 1 moment here. Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. I think this is a really interesting deck even for Giratina, just because you can actually hand attach the psychic energy on Giratina. You don't really get stuck really awkwardly in the way that you do in the Darkrai matchup, like we saw earlier.
Yeah, so you can, if you're going second, so either way, if you're going first or second, you can attack on turn 3 with Giratina if you're attaching, which is I think a lot more notable. The Darkrai players, you have to, if you don't get up to 3 energy, the Giratina is just a body to take attacks.
Yeah, very true.
Looks like we're getting into the game finally.
Looks like our player is going to be going second here, which is going to be really nice for the Glade player. I just made a dumb mistake on my thing, but it's fine. And we're starting actually with a Ralts in the active for Danx. Judy, though, beginning with Mewtwo, and I don't really think that's what he wants to do, because the thing is with this matchup, I don't think you want to get any damage on the Mewtwo. Of course, I don't think Danx is running X speed here. But the moment you put damage on the Mewtwo, you can Cyrus it up the moment Glade is alive. And Giratina can't one-shot Glade, but Glade can one-shot Giratina.
Yeah. How much health? How much HP does Giratina EX have?
150.
150.
It needs 4 energies, which is all you need to knock out with Glade.
Or sorry, I meant Gallade EX. I apologize.
Oh, 170. 170.
170. Yeah, I was like, that sounds. 150 sounds like a lot, like not very much for stage 2.
Yeah, Glade is 170, so he withstands Giratina's attack unless he has a red. There you go, a red.
Gonna attach here to the Ralt and use a teleport attack, which swaps out something into the bench. Gonna go to Hitmonlee, looking to get some stretch kicks onto the Giratina EX on the back.
Yeah, that's gonna be really nice going on and getting some damage onto Giratina as well here. Again, another time Giovanni could do well because of the type advantage of Mewtwo, Hitmonlee and Marshadow both go down to the 2 energy attack with the Giovanni. There we go. There's the Destined Rivals. That was close.
Drives up, and there we go. Ooh, playing a copy of Dawn. I didn't even. I hadn't checked out the deck list yet, but letting a attack into 70 with the Hitmonlee doesn't one-shot it.
I feel like this is where you just attach to your Marshadow. You don't even put energy on that Hitmonlee. Yeah. Knock out my Hitmonlee. I don't care, is what Danx is what I'm going to say here.
Yeah, and okay, gonna opt to Iono, looking for, I guess, looking for Glade EX or anything else specific.
They hit it.
Yeah, they did hit it. We'll see. I would attach to Marshadow here. Opting to put that helmet on the Curly, expecting to take some damage, I suppose. But I don't know if they play two copies of Dawn. Let me check.
Let's see. I mean, they won't want to use it if they do, and I don't think they'd want to use it this turn either. It does look like 2 Dawn.
They couldn't use it. They couldn't use it this turn to get to side drive. So what? It's gonna just opt to attach energy to Mewtwo and hit Hitmonlee with a Psychic Sphere for 50 damage.
Yeah, there's 2 Sabrina in this, so Danx is actually going to want to really find their second Hitmonlee or a Ralts, in my opinion.
Yeah, so they're thinking about what to put up here. Yeah, I would take the revenge damage with the Marshadow for sure. Deal 100, and I mean the Giratina EX is.
You need Mars here, is my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, you don't think so?
What are you afraid? I mean, I think I would, but what are you afraid of?
You knock out the was basically going to be a Glade, yeah.
Wait, am I? Yeah, I expect this here. The Giratina X on the bench again. You can end your turn to charge it, but it's going to be under so much pressure because the Mewtwo here can opt to red card this.
My problem here is he does 120, but if there's a Sabrina around, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, right, at this point, but no, it does, because he'd be able to do his 150 attack and knock out. Yeah, see, Sabrina comes down, and now Judy takes the game.
Oh, it's the weakness.
Yeah.
You're right. I wasn't even thinking about that. Is there any consideration there for holding Glade EX?
I mean, maybe, but I think that Giratina is going to power up too fast and just knocks out the Marshadow at that point. So, like, this is what I was saying we need a Mars for. Who cares about the extra 20 damage? You need to make sure he doesn't have Sabrina. Judy is running 2 Sabrina in his list. That's not, I would much rather him have a lower chance of hitting the Sabrina, even though it's already probably going to be a high chance of doing so.
Yeah, that's going to be game 1. Huh.
Let's see. We're going to let them get into their game 2 here. Oh. This is why I'm a Mars believer. Just saying. I'm a Mars believer. To everyone who doesn't believe. Let's see.
Yeah, I think Mars is quite good. It's It's a red card effect, but with it's Judy is an Ultra Ball 3. He's climbing.
Yeah, he's climbing for sure.
Oh, Marshall's start is not what you want to see.
Let's see. And we're getting into our game. Judy is starting with that Giratina this time. Danx with Marshadow. Okay, we have that Mewtwo on Jody's side again. We're definitely going to want to find our Ralts as quickly as possible.
Yep. I'm going to do research. Your TAX inactive.
Hitmonlee. I think we really wanted Ralts this turn. Do you communicate here for the Ralts, I wonder?
Yeah, if I had Pokemon communication, I think I would absolutely rip it here looking for the Ralts, but...
I think you have to, right? Because we even saw last game just how quickly this deck powers up. You need to have that Ralts getting its first energy.
Opting to not. I'm not sure what... Even putting the energy on the Marshadow, the Giratina is going to be able to attack you on turn 3. Just by charging itself up and ending the turn. So I don't even... The Marshadow, like, unless you're retreating into something, what are you going to retreat into? This is a very rough spot for Danx here.
Yeah, very rough spot. Almost feels like going second. Or what did it go first or second last game? I'm trying to remember right now.
I cannot remember.
Still no Ralts. Looks like we're planning a Rocky helmet now.
Rocky helmet on the Hitmonlee? Are you gonna retreat and kick? I don't think you can do that. Oh, they were holding the so we Danx had 2 Curly in hand, which is why RC and I were talking about that. You communicate, because you should definitely communicate one away, because they were holding for Iono. I think that was an incorrect play. I know using communication is -1 card, but even if you had the Ralts this turn, what's it gonna do?
Also, like,
what's the Hitmonlee doing? I think this is.
I think this is okay.
Very one-sided. You think this is okay? What is?
I think it's okay.
You're gonna lose your Hitmonlee, and then you don't have anything else that can attack.
I mean, what's the next choice?
I mean, I think that. I don't know. You could.
If you don't have Ralts, I don't think there's another choice.
I think Danx is in a horrible position.
Yeah. That's
right
a good way to put it. He's in a horrible position.
Yeah. Is it the options are so few that picking a correct one feels impossible. And maybe they didn't even get Ralts off the communication. I own a 1 less card, but you can imagine if they had a Curlia in play here, they would at least threaten a lot of damage on the Giratina EX. It might cost them the game.
So Giratina, it's gonna swing for 150. There's probably just like nothing you can do at this point, right? It's where I'm feeling this matchup.
The Marshadow doesn't attack. The Hitmonlee, Marshadow can't attack, takes 2 energy. Hitmonlee only hits the bench. I think we're gonna see the Giratina EX attack 2 more times, and then that's it.
Yeah, for sure. We have communication come down, but it's just too late. Jody already has 1 point now. We're gonna power up Marshadow, but like, I guess nothing is gonna be fully set up, but like, it just doesn't seem like a.
Yeah, Sabrina. I mean, just give all chances, but there's nothing in Danx's deck that can take another attack from Giratina EX. So I think this is gonna close out the game. Very unfortunate draw. Starting Marshadow's I played a lot of Rampardos deck in the last format, and you never want to start Marshadow. You always want the key to winning the mirror matchup is having your Marshadow. So you kind of want 2 in your deck, but if you have 2 in your deck and you're starting with 1, and you really do not want to start with 1. I actually drew red here. Rojo gonna deal 120 damage. Am I gonna eat my words? Did they just save the day? I think they're still the Psychic Sphere is gonna come down and deal 70.
And they were only swinging 10 back or 4 back.
Yeah, 40 back. So, honestly, kind of a miracle draw to get the Giratina out of there, but I don't know what else they could. I think they're still going to be some KO. Yeah, the gear. I guess that was the Giratina does do some damage back to itself on the attack. So it was very relevant there, Judy in the tank.
Yeah, very. Let's see here. I mean, the problem is his next turn he's swinging for 150 as well, right?
Opting to charge up instead. This tells me they have Dawn in hand.
Yeah, exactly. Dawn in hand. They're gonna attack.
I see no other reason that you would do that instead of doing some damage. Yep, there we go. That's gonna be game 2. Congratulations to Judy for making it to what is that, top 8?
That's gonna be top 8 for Jody. Yeah, really fantastic to see. Fantastic job by them. I was thinking next we could watch the Masquerada Beedrill.
That sounds great. I love some Beedrill. So
let's hop to channel 31 then and try to watch it there.
31. All right.
Hold up.
There we go. Yeah, my microphone cuts out for a couple seconds every time I hop channels. That's fun. Looks like we're right in it. We've got Meowscarada facing down Druddigon, another Druddigon on the bench, Darkrai with 3 energy on it, and now Giratina down, and we have a Kakuna on the bench. Just gonna try to get through the. We've got 2 points for the Meowscarada player. So they're and only 1 for the opposing player, and only 1 pointers on the board. So. DK Morgul, the Darkrai EX player, it's gonna have to take two knockouts to get the game.
Yeah, there's a while to go here. I wonder if there's any. Okay, we're gonna Erica, and I was almost wondering if we have any type of Cyrus to bring up that hurt Druddigon from the back for a really finish on this game. Awa is up 1 game in this set right now. So, DK Morgul needs to win this game or the whole round is going to be done for him.
Let's see. It's going to be Leaf. Okay. Red doesn't do it. Oh, he's going to opt to go to the other Druddigon. Only 60 HP. They need some way to... They need like a giant cape. Let me see their deck list. They play cape. They play 2 cape. 0 potion. Yep, there you go. That's gonna be the game to Awa, and that's gonna be a 2-0. We only got 2-0 in right at the end.
Let's see if there's another one.
There's still several. They're in a game 2.
Number going right now. Let's see if I can find.
I wish the pairings bracket page showed the Pokemon as well.
Why don't we go hop in and watch channel 67 again?
Channel 67.
Channel 67 is going to be that Arceus Meowscarada versus Charizard. We watched Suka earlier, but I'm really excited to see how this game plays out. Flipsicle.
Versus Flipsicle. Flipsicle already has a point. Looks like they probably go to Carnivine. That's what it is. I'm gonna call for help here. Kind of in a precarious spot. So Suka is up a game.
Yeah, so Flipsicle's gotta do something. The Moltres kind of stuck in the active. Looks like we're gonna be retreating. I think I saw an XP.
Yep.
No, it's potion. What is the?
No, it's the shaman.
Ah,
shaman
it's the
plus
shaman.
energy to retreat. It's gonna allow them to retreat, which means you'll be able to knock out the Sprigatito, and the Charizard EX has 180 health. It's knocking out the slash. It's gonna be able to Crimson Storm next turn. There's the concede. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, and we're gonna
Crimson
be
Storm, of course. Yep, it's gonna be on to game 3. Crimson Storm does 200 damage, which is capable of knocking out every Pokemon in the game, except for a Bastiodon with a cape. if it flips heads.
Well, you know who actually you can't knock out?
Who?
Charizard with blue and a cape.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that's. Yeah, with blue.
With blue, yeah.
There's a couple things. There's a couple things that blue pushes it over. But anyway, no Pokemon has 200 HP naturally. The only way you can get above 200 is with Venusaur. Of course, Venusaur has a weakness to fire. So.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, players are searching for game 3. Just to go over some of the deck lists for y'all. So we saw Suka earlier playing Carnivine, double Carnivine, double Meowscarada, one Baby Arceus, one Arceus EX. They've got a suite of different supporter cards. The Charizard player is playing. They're playing two of the base set Charmanders that deal 30 damage with Ember, and discard one of the new Charmeleon, which has 40 damage attack, and one of the older one, and then of course playing two Charizard original Genetic Apex Charizard EX. I wonder why they're playing a split Charmeleon line. That's interesting.
And that's what a lot
like
of people are doing. A lot of people are doing the split line.
Okay, interesting. And I was thinking the original Charmander does 30 damage, but it has to discard the energy. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe there's a lot of thresholds that's hitting that I haven't considered. I haven't played Charizard in some time, but it's been one of the decks that's just kind of stuck around the whole time. Like Pikachu and Mewtwo were, of course, you know, they made it. They were the biggest staples in Genetic Apex. But Charizard, they kind of dropped off. Charizard's been around.
Yeah, Charizard still had its spot all of the sets just thus far. But it's doing so poorly. We still see like one like every single top 64, I feel like. But it still got like a 30% win rate every single set. Even this one, I guess it had a 42% win rate this time. Just not great.
It's just got some bad matchups, but sometimes you just get Charizard on turn 3 and deal 200 damage. It's a lot of difficulty in that.
Let's see, we are going to be flipping with that Infernal Dance here. Oh, and 0 heads means no energy for that Charmander. Meanwhile, Suka could actually get another grass Pokemon, I guess, with their basic attack.
Yeah. With the Sprigatito. Flipsicle does not opt to play Dawn. Sometimes you see Dawn in the Charizard decks because if if Moltres flips heads, you can Dawn up an energy the next turn to attack for 70. They do not have that option here. Gonna get the Florigato. Gonna think about the Gonna play the Florigato. And see the energy attach. I wonder if they're gonna attach. I kind of expect them to attack with Carnivine next turn. Unless they have red. Which would manage to get the KO on Moltres. The Charizard player does play one copy of Giant Cape, which would get out of the range.
Let's see here.
It's Charmeleon.
Yeah, they're getting the Charmeleon. It is the other one.
It does more damage, but it's a more expensive attack.
I mean, it does more damage, but it's more so it does the same damage without evolving, right? It's just the base attack of Charizard.
It does a 60 damage slash.
Okay, it looks like we hit another Carnivine, but can we find a Meowscarada? It looks like we will, and that could knock out the Moltres. Huge problem though is that
you got a big, scary. It's not a dragon type Pokemon, but you got something that looks like a dragon type in the back. To be able to come in and if they have the Charizard EX, they're gonna be able to get the knockout, the Crimson Storm. But the Carnivines do go down to a single slash as well. Of course, we're picking up 2 points, so they don't have it. We're under huge pressure.
Yeah, I mean, anything here is gonna spell game for Flipsicle, but there doesn't seem to be anything to follow up. Do we have the Charizard? Ooh. Charizard comes down. Suka has no Pokemon, though, on its bench to protect, and even the 3 energy attack can KO one of these Carnivines.
Yeah.
I think Flipsicle might have it from here.
80 damage with weakness. I think they might have it. I mean, Charizard EX is so scary. Like I said, basically one-shots everything. You would need a giant cape here just to survive. And even then, they just, they slash you and then they wait a turn. And then, then they can just Crimson Storm. They're going to knock out anything. So our player here, thinking about their options, I think their only out is if their Flipsicle plays a basic, and we manage to get Sabrina. I don't even know if I think Charmander has 60 HP, so I don't even think that works.
Yeah.
It would need to be Moltres, because it has a 2-cost retreat. But in a very horrible spot, gonna opt to end the turn.
Yeah, nothing you can really do here. I mean, a hand attach is gonna still knock out. Oh, I guess the cape does save it, but doesn't feel great. I mean, I guess we're powering up an Arceus to be able to attack now.
Yeah, but I mean, you just come down with the Crimson Storm next turn, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. This looks like it's gonna be the game. I think the Charizard player is gonna be moving on to top 8.
Does it seem like it? We'll have to see.
They just gotta press an attack button. Or wait, no, that's only 1 point.
Yeah, this is only be 1 point here. But what I thought you were saying was when Arceus comes up, right? Still gonna get KO'd with that Crimson Storm.
Yeah, because it could do 130 damage. If you played something like Red, you could do 150, but the Crimson Storm's gonna take out everything.
Exactly, and that's
I was expecting the game to end though, but as long as the Charizard player presses the right attack, they're gonna be advancing to top 8.
Here. That is point 3. That's going to be game 3, just like you're saying, advancing to that top 8. To quickly see if there's any other games here in our top 16. There's a couple playing. It seems like most are in their last matchup.
Yeah, most are in their match. Just one down at the bottom here. It is Dialga Arceus versus Darkrai Giratina. That one, they're on game 2. Oh, but they're having some issues with with connecting. So I don't think they're a good candidate for spectating.
Let's see. That one's done. This one started 7 minutes ago. We could try to hop into it. There's a Gyarados versus a Giratina Darkrai. We could try to watch from that point of view. We could try to hop into channel 20.
All right, channel 20. My mic's gonna break.
Yeah.
There we go. At least it's consistent. Let's figure out I didn't touch anything. We got Magikarp facing down Giratina EX. Gonna take the big impact. It's got a whole bunch of energy on it. Really just looking for Charizard EX. Giratina player has 2 points. Charizard EX player has 1 point. Hoping for not Charizard, Gyarados.
Let's see. And then
find
it is
it.
up on screen now for people to watch. Yeah, I mean, do they have the Gyarados? That's gonna be the big question here.
Yeah. Oh, you can see they're mousing over the Darkrai. That's, I mean, yep, that's the Darkrai. I mean, I think you're out here is you have to play the supporter card that they have, and
I don't think it does anything though. Even they put up.
yeah, it does. And then Sneak needs to mess up and give them Darkrai instead of Shaman.
But Darkrai has 5 energies on it, so he just knocks out.
Oh, I didn't. I thought I had 1 energy. Little text. Yeah, I think you're in. Trouble here. If only you had a Rocky helmet on your Palkia Origin.
Honestly, right now, if only the helmet was in Pocket Origin.
And they even hit the heads.
We hit heads. We're doing 140, and
I guess if it they can retreat into the Darkrai.
I feel like the worry that
yep, there you go. They got it. They found the play, because if they attacked, it would have been a draw game.
Yeah. Would have been interesting to have a second. What was called? That does look like it's gonna be the last game of top 16 though. So we're gonna be going into our top 4 next. Okay, I'll let everyone know they can top their top 8, not top 4. I don't know, I just said top 4. You can start your top 8. I feel like I might be a bad kid for what I want to watch.
You know what? You've let me pick so much. Please go ahead and pick.
I want to watch the Charizard Beedrill Meowscarada.
Let's do it. We only got the tail end of Meowscarada thing. This one's the Beedrill.
I think the interesting thing with this is gonna be is that Charizard discards his own energy as well. Yeah. So it's not like you can just hand attach one back, right? You have to.
Yeah. Do you have preferred perspective, or you're just gonna pick one?
I think I'm gonna do Awa if you're cool with that, or would you?
I think Awa's the Beedrill player for those at home. I think that'd be great.
Perfect. Let's hop to channel 31. I do think they have to get set up and ready and stuff, but we'll be able to get ready with them. Okay. Let's see here. It's gonna be Awa versus Flipsicle.
We just saw Flipsicle at the tail end there when their match with Charizard. So I've got their deck list. Let me get up Awa's deck list. Of course, we got 2 lines of Meowscarada, and then we've got 1 line of Beedrill EX. Can get Sprigatito to start. And they are opting to play the Kakuna that paralyzes.
Let's see. Yeah, and they are having. You said they are opting the Kakuna that paralyzes?
Yeah, they've got the Kakuna that paralyzes. They got 1 copy of Team Rocket Grunt, Flipsicle. Again, we went over the deck list before, but 2 Charizard EX, 2 Moltres, and they are playing 1 Shaman for a cheaper retreat effect.
I think.
Gonna play out all these basics.
So far, I feel like the Kakunas we've seen have just been hitting into Druddigons, so the Paralyzed didn't matter too much. But now that we're going into a Moltres that needs to Infernal Dance to power up that Charizard, it's going to do so much. And it almost feels like it's going to exasperate what we're talking about with that energy discard, because now it's also going to stop it from even getting energy in the first place if the Paralyzed can go off.
Oh, that's very relevant. See, coin flip. 1 energy for the Charmander on the bench. Pass back the turn. Kind of expecting them to just attack here. Pull out another grass Pokemon. Gonna put the giant cape on it already.
I don't know about this
Interesting.
because I feel like the giant cape would potentially be protecting against the Moltres Dawn. I don't know if they had Dawn actually on Flipsicle's list,
Yeah,
but
they don't have Dawn, and so the giant cape does not protect against it because of weakness. So
oh, then
I
it's
think
not
it
the
was a
biggest
very
deal then if they put
I
it or
think it was a
not.
very yeah. I don't think it's a big deal, but I think it was a very preemptive cape because what if you do want to put it on something else? At some point.
Well, the thing is in Charizard, right? It really doesn't matter where you put the cape because everyone's getting one shot. It's Charizard comes out.
Yeah, I guess everyone's getting one shot. It would be like Florigato would live an attack from Moltres. That's like
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
the one scenario, which I guess we might see. Although the Flipsicle does opt to put the energy on the Charmeleon.
Hmm. So we are gonna flip again with that Infernal Dance. Only one heads here to put on that Charmeleon. I think we do. I mean, to some extent, most matchups you want to power up as much as you can onto the correct Charizard. But in this case, I feel like it's even more so when you're going against energy discard.
You're gonna get something on Florigato. Is this a paralyze the Charizard game? Is that the game that they have to play right now?
Definitely a question.
Okay, so Sprigatito has been drawing a lot of cards. We saw them use it twice already, so there's actually gonna only end up being 2 more Pokemon in the deck.
Let's see.
They would have played Charizard if they had it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't attack immediately because you could fear Meowscarada, but honestly, I would power up. Is there energy still available? I would be powering up the Moltres here to get a potential attack off. I guess you could retreat and then the Spirigato would get you, but they did put the energy on Charmeleon the previous turn, and I would have put it on the Moltres, but I'm also not in top 8 of Ursiiday Pocket Weekly, so.
Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, I don't know if I agree with this move, but I'm not the one here. And so, yeah, I feel like some world, like, why aren't they powering up the Moltres more? I almost feel like with the hand attaches.
Yeah, it does 90 damage to
The grass guys.
Everything's gonna get KO'd except for getting Florigato with the cape or a Meowscarada or a Beedrill, but so dangerous, and it's not gonna get KO'd in return in one hit.
Yeah, let's see what they decide to do. Alwa seems to now be starting to build up the Beedrill. All of these Pokemon only take 2 energy to attack, so you can attach the 1 energy and have them set up and ready for when it's time for them to go into play. Which is, I mean, really nice for sure. To have all this like low energy cost here.
Yeah. To do this again, this is only one more Pokemon in the deck. I actually managed to attack, I think, like 3 or 4 times now.
Kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy. So the deck is stacked with trainer cards, most of which are supporters. Obviously, don't want to draw Pokeballs. You don't want your Pokemon communication, but
let's see. I mean, does Weedle also? No. Just the Meowscarada.
now yeah.
Let's see here. Does Flipsicle have that Charizard? I mean, they communicated. You would think that they would be able to find it.
Yeah, they would be pretty likely. I would probably put the energy on the Moltres here just to at least threaten something. Alwa does play 2 copies of red, so I think they're probably afraid of returning to Meowscarada going red and KOing. But honestly, if they do that, I guess the Charizard discards from itself, and the Beedrill would come in and keep the energy down. But I think they did end up attaching to it. Just gonna retreat. Gonna see a slash here for 60 damage. With 80 with the with weakness.
Yep, that's gonna be slash. Yeah, they really don't want to use the energy discarding attack here.
Yeah, Crimson Storm. I mean, they have to take out the Meowscarada, right? Ooh, wait, that could do something. That draw could do something.
It could. Yeah, I wonder if they'll use it.
It would be very relevant. Yeah. Because they have to Crimson Storm. If they want to KO the Meowscarada, they need to Crimson Storm. Otherwise, they're gonna get KO'd themselves.
They don't hit it,
didn't
but
do anything.
That threat is why I feel like you do want to power up Moltres, right? And because you don't have to even have the threat of the energy being taken off of the Charizard.
Yeah, because here, look, the Charizard can attack, but if Flipsicle's paying attention, they would know that their player has all of their Pokemon, which means they have Beedrill. They know that they have Beedrill EX in hand. So of course they didn't evolve it because it means they're not vulnerable to Sabrina here because it's still a one prizer. But this suddenly kind of turned around.
For sure. I mean,
I thought they were way ahead, and now it's. Worry about a second chart? Are they? Yeah, that's Crimson Storm.
That is
Japanese not that good, but I could tell you that what it is. That's what it is. And then we're gonna see the Kakuna come up. We're gonna see a Beedrill attack, and then what?
And that's gonna be I need to update Flopsicle's points. He does have 2 points. But yeah, I mean we don't even have it's not like anybody's threatening to attack though. Like Awa is completely safe. Flipsicle has only 1 energy on Moltres.
It's even again. It's the other Charmeleon, the one that attacks for 3, so they couldn't even do 60 damage because the other one would do 60 damage, would do 80. They can't even do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So they need to put Moltres up in the active. Okay, it needs to tank a hit while they charge up their. Oh, but even if they it tanks a hit and they need to flip a bunch of heads, and that's the out. Right, but then they also need Leaf.
Yeah.
Ursiiday, they don't even play Leaf in their deck. I guess they have an X speed, so the X speed plus Shaman would get there.
But
so
now I just wish they had Kakuna to freeze the guy in place.
Yeah. But they need they had unfortunately had to evolve. They need X speed here.
Yeah.
To win. Opting play red to up this to 100 damage. No point in playing any energy. We're not even we don't even have any other Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure how many cards. Yeah, you can see him tapping the Shaman. It's X speed or no, actually they don't even need X speed. Just the Shaman does it, right? Because they attach to Moltres and retreat.
Yeah, that is true. They just retreat here and they win.
They hit just the amount of heads that they needed off of.
And that's gonna be concede. How sad! Perfect game by Awa, but sometimes Charizard's just too strong. I'll clever up and let them get into their game 2 here. We're gonna let them get into their game 2. Let's see. They're gonna get. It looks like they're gonna be getting set up fairly quick here, guys. Our Beedrill player / Mascara player is gonna be going up first, and it looks like we're starting with a Sprigatito again. Meanwhile, Baby Charmander in the active spot for Flipsicle.
Yeah, so I mean, we're going first here. The Charmander could attack and deal 50 damage, but it would discard an energy. So I think this is where I like the other Charmander, because if they don't have Moltres, you could do 40. Right, which is kind of big. Flashing through all the cards. You see a Pokeball. One of 2 S tier cards in the game. in my opinion. Chat, can you name what you think is the other best card in the game?
Sadly, it's a delay, so they can't even respond for another minute and a half.
I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Every once in a while, people are chatting in there. I appreciate all the shout outs and follows, guys. I see those coming through on my end. So glad you're enjoying me on as a guest commentator.
Let's see.
Do it. They got to do it. They're gonna. This is like.
I mean, yeah, I guess you do have to do it here. We do hit heads.
There you
this
go.
is when we hit 20 heads.
Oh.
But 4 is pretty close to 20 in the case of Pokemon Pocket.
Yeah. Would you take, deleting 4 energy now or deleting it later? Honestly, now kind of stops them from getting more energy by going into the Moltres, right?
I mean, we could still have Shaman. We could still have X Speed that they are running.
Yeah. But it does deny them an energy, and it is 1 energy off of the Charizard for later.
For sure. I mean, if there's no other supporters in the hand degree, I think if research was in their hand, though, I would still choose to research over doing the Team Rocket.
Oh yeah, I would choose to research there.
Let's see. Meowscarada is down. Not Meowscarada. Oh my God. Elgato. Florgato, there we go.
Florgato.
I don't know about this old Charmander. I mean, maybe this is the reason why, but even then, you're not running Giovanni where you could actually knock it out.
I suspect that they just don't have to. They don't have a new Charmander. That's.
Somebody pointed out it could be.
I don't know if there's any Pokemon with 30 HP or grass Pokemon with 50 that are relevant.
Magikarp XZ is what chat is saying, but I don't know if that's enough. If that matters enough. Magikarp being 30.
I mean, it has to be in the active, and you have to be going second, right? Like.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying that like I could see it, but I still think doing the other one is probably better. I don't like the discard attack. You lose so much momentum with it. We do get the retreat off, though, regardless there. And our Charmeleon is now on the bench.
Meowscarada right in.
Yeah, and that's going to be 130 damage that this little grass cat is going to be able to do. That being said, if we see 3 heads next turn, it kind of won't matter.
I love Meowscarada's signature attack in VGC's Flower Trick, which is a guaranteed critical hit, and I love the attack animation. She just goes forward and like snaps, then does 1,000,000 damage and deletes your guys, just like she did 1,000,000 damage here.
Yeah, she did get it off. Absolutely painful. We'll have to see what this Infernal Dance does, though.
They're waiting. The game was recently updated so that you don't have to wait for for your opponent's the coin flips to go through on your opponent's side, not flip simultaneously. We have 2 heads.
2?
Kind of looking for some more Pokemon to play here because in this KO the Charizard can't Crimson Storm you, but we do need some other Pokemon in play. Getting a 3rd energy in Meowscarada is not what you want to see as the Meowscarada player.
Yeah, it's really not. And only 2 energies on the Charmeleon. It's gonna be a big problem for Charizard.
Yeah, we don't want to hit the Charmeleon either because it's not an EX Pokemon. So we're only gonna do 60 damage. Meowscarada's attack. Okay. There's another basic. If they have Charizard, it's gonna be. I guess they would have to. If you could heal your Meowscarada here, yeah, it'll do. They would need to Crimson Storm to take you out, but they. I don't know. Yeah, they would need to Crimson Storm because 60 plus 130 is enough to take out the Charizard.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge problem. Do they have the Charizard is going to be the big question. The fourth energy. Charmander? Charizard, and there it is. I mean, always add 2 points here.
I don't like putting the Charmander on the bench.
It's not my favorite thing either because it does open for like a Sabrina stall, but
I mean, yeah, but I think like I don't know. I don't know. In the tank, it's gonna opt and do the Crimson Storm. Yeah, do 220 damage.
gets 1 point for Flipsicle now. Florgata is gonna do what though? Even if they have the Florgata, I guess is a big question. Weedle comes down on Awa's side. They need the
Kakuna
evolution.
Strats. Kakuna Strats can get there.
I guess that is true.
One. I think Sabrina on Flipsicle's end would seal the deal because Weedle, but Kakuna could deal 20 damage and paralyze, and then Red would get there with Beedrill. So I think that's the out that Awa has. Don't press the concede button. You could paralyze.
But you could paralyze is definitely a
You
Electric
could
won off
paralyze.
it for a long time. Electric won off it for a long time.
Yeah, there we go. I think that seals it.
But I mean, it is still the deal, and that's gonna be conceded.
So they did have Red in hand. So if they got a paralysis, then Red with Beedrill would get the KO. But unfortunately, the opponent did end up with Sabrina. It's the thing when you play so few Pokemon, and like we just had one Meowscarada for like the whole game, your opponent gets a lot of opportunities to draw cards like Sabrina or Cyrus because they wouldn't have been using them in the early game.
For sure,
yeah. And they do play one. The Charmander play does play one, or Charizard play did play one Sabrina, 0 Cyrus. Was that game 2?
That was game 2, but they 2-0'd. We do have a game that's just
unfortunate matchup, grass versus fire.
Yeah, definitely a very unfortunate matchup. Very unfortunate matchup.
Which channel should we hop to?
There is a channel 17. We can watch Glade versus Arceus Dialga, but they're just getting into game 3. So channel 17.
Okay, so we've got Hitmonlee facing down a Dialga EX and a Arceus and a Mew and a Shaman. So Alonzo, the Dialga player, is actually completely set up. Hitmonlee's kicking the Arceus, trying to weaken it down for future Glade EX play. Could do another stretch kick.
So we have it up on stream now.
Still on to the Arceus. I guess that's the target that matters the most.
Yeah, I think it is as well. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess a Glade, if you have, I mean, Glade's gonna do what, 90, 110, 130 damage right now. If they don't put more energy on the Arceus EX, so I guess chipping it down multiple times monthly makes sense. Do we know if Alonzo is playing Dawn? You sometimes see that. Let me check it out.
Let's see.
They are not playing any copies of Dawn. So they couldn't do the cheeky things.
The cheeky thing where you put it up? Yeah.
Yeah, where you pull it up. Honestly, that's probably the best possible thing you get off Pokeballs and Marshadow. Let's see, do some stuff with Revenge hitting. Gonna hit the Arceus EX again, going down to 90.
We have a gold Pokeball, always nice to see. I love the gold Pokeball. It is such a nice gold card for this little mini set.
You're saying that because you got 2 copies of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I love that it doesn't do the flourish. I don't know, when you play a card that like a higher rarity card, it does the spin around and stuff, and I've seen the animation a couple thousand times, so I kind of just want to skip through. But it is beautiful. We're missing a full art professor's research. That's what I want
Yeah,
to see.
hopefully we'll get a full art professor research, or also like other professor Pokemon would be nice.
Yeah, I could see them putting a different professor on it, because then people would stop calling it Oak.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well. It's Professor's Research, not Dr. Oak, or whatever his name is. Mr.
Professor
Oak.
Oak, yeah. Say Oak. It does say Professor Oak on the card, but that's not the name of it.
Yeah.
You got to see the Cyrus pull up the Arceus EX. Marshall is going to be able to do 100 damage with Revenge. Exactly what Maim Slice, what a tag, wanted to see. I'm just looking for the Galade EX to clean something up, because the Dialga would take what, exactly 150 damage.
Yeah, it would be exactly 150 with 4 energies on it if we can find that Galade. But stage 2s, as we've talked about, are not the easiest Pokemon to get built up on your bench or active spot. So Alonzo's taking their second point. Do we have Galade? Pokeball comes down. I don't think that's a Galade.
Nope.
But maybe they have it in their hand. Maybe they have it in their hand. They concede those, so they do
They did not concede. Let's miss that. Let's go.
We'll
back.
cover up. Wait, that's their game 3 actually. So
was that game 3? Okay, I think is that gonna close out the whole round, right?
Let me check real quick.
Pick the pairings.
It does look like that's gonna be. Wait.
Yeah, there's 2 other. Judy's game is in game 3. The other one's in. Sneaks in game 2. Oh, the other Beedrill player, got knocked out. No Beedrill in top 4. I'm gonna step away for a moment, so.
Okie dokie.
Good luck entertainment without me, and I'll be right back, guys. Don't do anything funny or cool or anything while I'm gone. Okay. I don't want to come back to a bunch of laughing emojis in chat, because it means I missed something.
Dun dun dun. I think we're gonna hop to. There's a mirror match between the Giratina Mewtwo's. So I'm gonna see if we can hop over to that real quick, guys. I don't know how to feel about this matchup, but I'm sure it'll be. Wait, did it just? No, it didn't finish. Let me see if I can get it up real quick. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna pop the game up so you guys can watch it while I try to find. Let me get the names correct. It's Jody versus Mforce again. I guess this is just the highest quality of everything. The Giratina on the bench is gonna be a huge problem here. I mean, if they're able to get to and they're switching. It looks like we're trying to decide if we're gonna retreat or not. We don't seem to have gotten a Sabrina this turn, and they're at 2 and 2. I did forget to put that in. So I think this just might be the match here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a concede, guys, and let's see. Yep, that's me a game 3. Jody is out in top 8, sadly. And I think that's gonna be our entire top 8. We're gonna be finding into our top 4 next. which we are gonna do as we're gonna do them asynchronously. Yeah, asynchronously, so we can get to watch both of our top 8. Our first one does seem to be Giratina Mewtwo versus Giratina Darkrai. Our second top 4, though, is going to be that Charizard versus a Arceus Dialga. Really, really interesting. So we'll get into our game, get to our top 4 as quickly as possible. No mirror matches in our top 4. No mirror matches in our top 4. We'll see if we can sneak POV again. And we will get up those scores.
Okay, I specifically said not to do anything funny, and the chat is just filled to the brim with laughing emoji.
We had a really nice game, actually.
I like the nickname. I like the name of the deck that they have here. Godent. It's like it's God not. I don't know. It's like the opposite of. It's like God Kill or something. That's the kind of vibes I'm getting.
Don't really. Maybe that is true. Maybe that's true.
I don't know. I think it's. I like giving cute names. Like I said, my Beedrill deck was like Beedrill.
I heard about it, and I heard it's unfamily friendly.
I wasn't gonna bring that up.
You just went for it, buddy. You just brought up the name.
I said Beedrilling, like you know, whatever. Like my the pseudo wood deck of a pseudo RM RF, right? It's like remove everything. I like giving fun nicknames.
Oh, like the computer command.
Yeah. You can see, okay, Drudagon facing down Giratina EX. Is this the I see a Shaman. Is
so
this
we're gonna be
is this a mirror match?
No,
it's not.
It is not. It is Mewtwo and Giratina T17 versus Drudagon, Darkrai, Giratina EX, and Shaman of Healing.
Healing mode Shaman. Okay, you can see a Pokeball. And a research.
Let's see. Looks like we're going to be starting, in just Energy on Drudagon, it doesn't seem like we're finding our Darkrai's or our Giratina here. Problem is, though, is Mforce still is going to have to pass another turn before they can even attack, because part of powering up for them is passing with that Bellow.
Yeah. No Darkrai is kind of huge. The Expector's going to get attached pass.
Let's see.
Or attached charge. I'm surprised they leave this turn instead of saving it for their next turn.
They are only running one Sabrina, though. So
they're running one Sabrina. Best. Okay, well that's how you do it. If you're playing on ladder, playing on the ranked ladder, I would hold your leaf there unless you had a supporter that you were needing to play the next turn.
What if they play Mars though?
if they play Mars,
And your leaf goes bye-bye.
and then your leaf goes bye-bye, but they don't... We can skip the Mars discussion for this one.
I'm just saying. Or they
I'm just saying,
IMO
you know what?
you and your leaf goes bye-bye.
You know what? And you're right. Now the
We do get our first 2 points for Mforce though, with that 130 swing, but it does put
it's 1
them...
point. It's 1 point in the Drotagon, but
Did I say 2 points?
you said 2 points.
Oh, I'm at 1 point. My bad.
It does put him down to 110 HP, and while we can't attack with this Guillotine EX on the sneak side for at least another 2 turns.
Yeah.
That Guillotine on their side is going to be taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal though, because we need at least, we were saying, 2 more turns. I think Mewtwo will have 4 energies by the time Mforce's Giratina gets knocked out.
Yeah. Does have a giant cape to move it.
Mm-hmm.
Broken Space Bellow, get the Psychic Energy. Got a very, very spiky and rough-skinned Drotagon that's wearing a helmet. See research, draw 2 cards.
I mean, there's no Pokemon they're finding, so they're just pulling more and more supporters into their hand.
Yeah, Sporter's another trainer card. So let me take a look at their...
Let's see here.
Deck, if I can find it. Here it is. Mforce Camp versus Sneak. Yeah. So this is the list of non-Pokemon cards, the trainer cards they have in their deck. Okay, they have 17 trainer cards. 2 research, 2 red, 2 Pokeball, 2 potion, and 2 giant cape. And they've got 1-ofs for Sabrina, Cyrus, Pokemon Center Lady, Mars, Dawn, Leaf, and Rocky Helmet. So you can play when you have so few Pokemon, you can play a lot of one-of utility trainers like that.
Yeah, no reason not to. I
think this is too late.
It already feels too late. This Giratina is taking too long to set up on the bench. The other Giratina, I mean, if Sneak hasn't taken any points, it doesn't even matter, right? If it ends up being the one, even if it's not taking knockout.
I mean, it's the like you mentioned, the Mewtwo is gonna have 100. It's gonna be able to side drive, and Mforce Cam does play 2 copies of Red and a Sabrina, all of which would seal the deal. But even then, if they had they have a cape on their Mewtwo, so it could actually stall for a turn, because it has 170 HP, so it lives an attack from Giratina EX. Or actually, no, they're both Psychic types, so it would just live anyway. Opponent's in the tank though. It's hard. Look, I've been in the Ursiiday Pocket Weekly Top Cut a couple times, just saying, but I go into the tank a lot. And sometimes I go too deep and I mess up the turn, you run out of time. It does happen on occasion.
It's easy to get overpressured when you're playing in high pressure games like this. In top 4, you're fighting for your prize money to go from 35 to 60 and then 150 USD, and that's a lot of money, much less having upwards of 1,300 eyes on your gameplay. So I'll have to see.
Oh yeah, 1,300. Man, we're doing good. That's awesome. I love seeing.
Let's see.
You'd love to see it from just straight from grassroots.
You have a nice little grassroots competitive scene. Really, really nice. Looks like we're gonna have, Darkrai attaches, does all but 10. You're still gonna have to swing. And this is gonna put that Giratina at 150 health. Don't even need a red on Mforce's side.
That's true. I keep on forgetting that it hits itself a little bit.
Yeah, just enough to... No.
trying to find their outs. Didn't find it. Just ended their turn. No attack.
I mean, understandably, sometimes.
Yeah, I understand. They can't attack because if they attack, then the Mewtwo wins. But by just passing the turn, you know, the Darkrai could chip down, but it's not gonna. I mean, like.
I think this double potion's funny.
I think the double potion as well gets us Giratina stuff, but that Giratina EX in the front can't attack. So I think you could do one potion and then retreat into the other Giratina or something. I don't know, but now they're just in.
It's almost taunting, in my opinion, right? He obviously doesn't have red.
Like you definitely don't need more than one. The red's not going to make a difference because you still would. Even if you take this down, you have to take down something else, and the Mewtwo is just gonna eat your team alive.
Oh, I was meaning if they had red, Giratina could have retreated back to Mewtwo and swung for 170, right?
Oh yeah.
But instead,
I guess they don't have red then.
Yeah, they don't have red in hand. Instead, they're double potioning so they can attack, and Darkrai can't just one shot them.
I guess there's no rush. You know, what's the rush for getting the? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
So that is Sneak is gonna go on and concede though, and we're gonna be getting into game 2 here. Okay. I don't know if there's a lore reason why Giratina would off.
I think it's just such a big attack that it gets caught in its own blast. That's something like that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the Pokemon.
It's empowering some of its life force into the attack. I don't know. It's why you have to recharge after using Hyper Beam. You know, same kind of deal.
Yeah, I think it's all the Pokemon who swing for 150 and more seem to have some type of like backlash to them. Mewtwo has to discard 2 energy. Palkia discards 3 energy. Giratina does 20 to itself. Charizard literally discards 2 energy as well.
Gyarados discards an energy most of the time from itself.
Not even
Giratina's
150.
Giratina's 130. Ursi. So.
Oh!
I can't see your expression, but
he is. Yeah, that is true. I was thinking he was swinging for 150. I'm a dum-dum. Sorry, if you guys don't know, I have only played Gallade for the last 114 games we were talking about earlier. So Giratina does 150 to me. Has a type advantage.
Ah, yes.
Has a type advantage. Okay. So actually, I did a YouTube video where I like ranked Danx, and I was like, Giratina is so strong, he swings for 150. And somebody commented, it was like, he doesn't do 150, he does 130. I was like, okay, well, talking about versus Gallade, but I only play Gallade, so in my head he does 150. But
yeah, I think the certainly a good starting preliminary list. It's always interesting to see how the meta evolves over the weeks between packs. They've been releasing sets very very quickly recently. It's like even thanks to Twitch viewers like you at home. That's what funds my pack addiction, and it's a lot. They're bringing them very quickly. So
the funny thing is, though, actually, I was talking like with some other like mobile game players, and they were like, it's funny sometimes. I mean, I'm not sure I 100% agree with like the point of view, but it was like people are talking about like, oh, you had to spend $100 to get all of the whole set, and then like, oh, you're a well. That's not a well in a lot of mobile game players' minds. They're like, that's barely even in dolphin range to spend like 100 on a set.
Yeah, I like say I think I'm a dolphin because I like getting flirts, but I'm not just busting the bank. But I just take I excuse it as I just take the funds that Twitch gives me from followers and stuff and people watching. I guess they don't do followers, but people watching ads, and subscribing and stuff. And that's what I spent the Twitch money on. Just try to reinvest back into the stream and entertainment,
I get you.
But anyway, we're gonna see more broken space bells here. They're kind of just standing off, facing each other. Just with I gotta say the Giratina EX, the normal art, he's got such a stance. It's like it's like chest out from below. Very very powerful stance to be taking.
Yeah, I mean, we're just like sitting here facing off, like playing a game of chicken again.
Yeah.
Mforce is up a game. We're in game 2, so if Mforce wins this one, he wins the set. Otherwise, we're going to a game 3. But Sneak's Giratina EX on the bench is getting set up now.
I wonder why they opted to stop charging the one in the front. Is it just because of the Trudagon, or is it because they got a sec? I guess they got a second one. They're like, oh, the bench one's better to charge.
I kind of wonder as well. I was sitting here thinking about it, right? The problem is he can't really attack. If Giratina attacks, he's in range of another Giratina attack.
I mean, I would personally be charging up the one in the front and then also powering up the Mewtwo, because then if it gets attacked, the Mewtwo can KO in revenge, you know. But we'll see.
But
100 barely gets you anything lately. I don't know. I think it still gets you the same amount. There's actually fewer, like Genetic Apex. There's 3 packs of cards. I think if you're after specific cards, you don't need to spend nearly that much. And also, they released new starter decks, and you can actually just get all the cards from starter deck for free by doing a couple missions. So I think is really cool, and I hope they continue to do that. I would love to see it every set, but if they don't do it every set, I would love to see them every so often do that to give people a quick start for something they're after. I'm saving mine to see which cards I'm missing.
Starter, I think the starter decks are really good, but I think everything's just like up to luck. I did 100 again this set, and I got 3 immersive Giratina EXs and 2 gold Pokeballs, and every single competitive Pokemon that I want, except a Beedrill, but I can still get that from a free, like a starter deck. So not the biggest issue. I'm probably not going to spend any more on it, but that being said, Sneak still hasn't found a second attacker that they're getting set up. So they're kind of just waiting, hiding. I don't know the correct word for it.
Dirtling. I don't know if the Pokemon can know that word. It's like it's not turtling. Turtling is when you just go into a fort and you stay there. Dirtling is when you do that, but you're like doing a little like messing around a little bit. Like if you have Darkrai, you're dirtling because I don't know.
Because you're poking at the same time.
It's like you're just like it's I don't know. I know it from Magic where you've got like kind of wall stuff, and then you're just kind of like doing stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe the stuff isn't making a big difference, but you're doing something. Sitting there. There we go. Got the attack. Now the Mewtwo is not able to come and KO in return.
He can though if we have Dawn.
Are they playing Dawn?
Mforce is playing one Dawn, right?
Oh, okay, well there you go. That's what I was missing. They are playing one Dawn.
But their Giratina comes up, so I mean, still you could Dawn the Giratina.
Yeah, Dawn would still work, but I would probably want the energy on the Mewtwo.
Dawn comes down.
You know what? I guess the Giratina doesn't discard the energy.
It doesn't discard the energy, but just like that.
Mewtwo side drive does. So what's the out here?
I think they already conceded, by the way. Did they not?
No, they canceled it.
Oh, okay.
They were expecting to. I think your out here is you have to have another Giratina in play, so it can take a hit. But I think this game's gonna be over.
Yeah, they needed a Darkrai or Giratina, in my opinion.
And then I think it's gonna be game 2, and Mforce CM did win the first game, so we're gonna wait. Here's the concede. That's gonna be game 2. Congrats to Mforce CM2 for making it to the
into the finals.
Into the finals, yeah.
Absolutely insane. Love to see it though, honestly. I did miss it, by the way. But Jody, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for playing in the tournament today. Congrats on making top 8. Fantastic job with your deck. Fantastic job.
Big congrats. I saw streaming. I saw the raid come in too, but I don't think it's my place to shout out the raid. So
I miss it sometimes. Is my problem, especially like in my normal stream. I have like a sound cue, but I don't have sound cues.
You don't have
for
it.
Stuff on this one.
I have a sound cue that does not play for the audience. It just plays for me to draw my attention over to it. So. Anyway, so we're gonna go on to the other semifinals game, right?
Yep.
For Flipsicle and Alonzo, this is gonna be Charizard EX versus Dialga EX Arceus EX, which is
I'm interested to
be
see how this
exciting.
one plays out, right? I don't remember seeing it too much during Triumphant Light, but definitely it's not like Charizard was a counter to Arceus Dialga, otherwise we would have seen it played more.
Honestly, I'd love to see Charizard win another one because it like
Same.
it's just kind of sticks around a little bit. It's got a small chunk of the meta the whole time, and I think it took it a while to like win a tournament. So coming out and beating would be neat.
Yeah, it took a long time. It was like the last tournament of Space Time Smackdown or something like that for pure Charizard to win a tournament.
Yeah, because there's Charizard, the Arcanine ones to it. And
Yeah.
this one, again, they're running the split Charmeleon, and they're running also a copy of Shaman. It's very, very interesting. Flipsicle from India versus Alonzo from Great Britain.
Yeah, I think the Charizard list is really interesting to me. I guess I'm going to give a slight spoiler real quick because I'm going to put out a YouTube video after this stream. But I see all these tournament players running the split Charmeleon, and Jody actually posted his original list of playing Charizard on rank with the split Charmeleon. But the guys who made Masters and the decks that they're recommending are not split Charmeleon. So like,
which one are they playing?
They're playing the new Charmeleon, double new Charmeleon.
Yeah, that's the one that I would play.
Yeah, same. So part of me wonders if I don't know if Jody had both. Like just didn't have a second Charmeleon or what, and then it just everyone copied it. That would be hilarious to me. Or if there's an actual reason for it. I haven't actually asked him. That was just like my assumption day one is he just didn't have a second new Charmeleon.
Yeah, that's yeah. All right. Do we have a choice? We have a choice of POVs, right?
We should, but I'm just quickly checking where Alonzo is streaming.
Yep. Sure. Just you just let me know. I'll hop over.
Oh, he's a Twitch channel. Okay. Let's try channel 16 first.
Channel 16. I'll see you there.
See you there. We don't need to talk about it. I went to channel 15. And you're also muted yourself. Oh my god, it's loud.
I've been talking and I muted my mic in 2 places.
Dun dun dun.
I heard you say it's so loud, and so I turned it down before it loaded. But chat's gonna love that one because prediction up. It's gonna be over by the time I end this kind of short prediction. I was trying to arbitrage the last one by saying who would win, by like because I'm like 2 minutes ahead or whatever. But I didn't end up doing anything with it.
It happens.
Bro has nice hair. Oh my gosh.
Bro, I keep doing this where I put the score as the person's name.
It happens.
For those who don't know, my score are periods in a beveled circle on Photoshop. Sorry, go.
I was gonna say, yeah, it surprised me because when I took over, I borrowed your scene so I could see how it was set up, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of clever. So
yeah, it was a smart little thought, but every once in a while I go to like change the name and I put the score as the person's name, and then it's just like off the side of the screen in gigantic like font 114 or something, you know, like it's insanely oversized. We'll get into that game though. Yeah, somebody commented on the top half, it's new cards from Shining Revelry. On the bottom half, we have our old decks. And we will be getting into some decks that are a little bit more, you know, familiar to players. Let's check them out.
Starting with Shaman. Shaman reduces the retreat cost of basic Pokemon in your active spot as long as it's on your bench. So it works with Moltres, but it doesn't work with itself. So unfortunately, they are going to have to spend an energy to get it out of there.
Yeah, that's going to be really sad. Definitely a huge problem when it comes to that, what is it, A2A Shaman. I'm slowly learning all the different A, B, C, D, E, F, Gs. But yeah.
Ooh, I've got confirmation that Judy only has one new Charmeleon, and that's why.
I am like 90% sure everyone is running 1-1 Charmeleon because of the list he posted, where it's one.
I'm surprised he posted a list and didn't just edit it to have two.
He said this is the list I played, and I swear to you,
I mean, that's what I would do. But that people saw it and copied.
Well, he posted the. I'm not sure if you noticed this, but you can export a picture from Pokemon, the Pokemon game now.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a second
so
Charmeleon, you can't do it there. Yeah, he threw that one up.
I go. Wait, from the game. Oh, you mean like screenshot it?
Yeah, you can screenshot it, but it shows the entire deck list.
It shows a nice view. I see. He did it that way. Yeah, I always go and do Limitless so I can pick all the full arts that I don't have.
I did for a long time too, but I don't anymore. I think I like it better.
I set up my stream recently to where I say recently, it was like a month ago, where I download the opponent's deck list and the image just shows up on the stream for the spectator, and I think it's a really cool effect. So anyway, we're in the game. We've got the Moltres coming up.
Had to use energy for it. Wait, did we?
I had to use the energy, but opponent's on Dialga. But of course, when you have Dialga, you just put one energy. You're not under any threat from attacks or anything, so you hold this in case of a Sabrina. I can see an Inferno Dance. Let's check the coin flips.
He's not running Dawn, but if he was running Dawn, he could be under some threat, right? If he donned up an energy, attacked with. I guess you can't attack with red. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, not on that turn though, because of. You would still, I expected something else to come out on the bench here, Arceus, Mew, or hopefully, but
Mew EX.
Shaman's not what you'll see.
And Arceus.
Okay, you can see. Yeah, charge up the Mew. Of course, Mew now's got 2 energies, threatening a Crimson Storm if Charizard ever comes up. This is where I would 100% of the time I would put energy on the Moltres, and I mean I guess they have one on the bench, but you're gonna need 2 Charizards or Charizard and Moltres to do damage, because as soon as you attack the Charizard, the Mew is gonna come in and do Crimson Storm in return.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge problem for Flipsicle's gameplay here. And Dialga's going to take his time getting set up. I think it's interesting. Flipsicle is choosing, it looks like, I mean, not even choosing, but having to power up a Moltres instead of a Charmander because they haven't found one yet. Or I assume they haven't found one yet.
Yeah, going to do another Inferno Dance. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's... Honestly, I think I would have put energy on the front Moltres.
I think so too. The hand attached to me.
You're gonna what? You now you can retreat and attack with the other one, but if you get a Charmeleon, or a Charmander, you're gonna have wanted to be able to put the energy on that instead of your other Moltres. I don't know. Not having Charmander on, I guess it was turn 3 is rough. Metallic Turbo coming out, gonna be charging up to Arceus EX, so now both Arceus and the Mew EX are threatening some damage on.
Yeah.
Got our Charmander.
Charmander is gonna come down finally, but we're gonna need some more energies. Looks like we may just be retreating to the Moltres though and start swinging for 70 damage. I guess that just means we're gonna start hand attaching though. Yeah, with weakness, so 90. Very true.
Yeah. Which is why I would have liked to see Moltres attack the previous turn, because then you could have done another one here and gotten a knockout. But I guess they're gonna just keep charging up. They're just gonna attack here and then charge up the Charmander on the bench. I expect to see another potion or a cape.
Same, but Rocky Helmet, so no cape, second potion. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. He's only going to be at 90, and that's still in range of Moltres. Cyrus, so we're bringing back up the damaged Moltres.
It's still, if they have an energy, you still... I mean, I guess Arceus EX would get there, right? If you go and attack with the Moltres.
Yeah.
Because of the Rocky Helmet. That would bring Moltres down to 120. Oh, wait.
And we conceded, yeah.
Oh wait, no, you conceded. Yeah, they would bring him down to 120, and then if they had like anything, it would beat out. But okay, so that was game one.
Yeah, a bit of a painful game one here for Flipsicle. He's been getting his Charizard, you know, basically on curve game after game after game. And now didn't get a Charmander when we're powering up with Inferno Dance. Ugh, the game definitely had its rough spot there. We'll have to see how he does maybe actually finding a Charmander this time.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into what we were doing. Game two. Flipsicle or Charizard player going first with the Charmander in the active. Not great what you want to see. Not great what you want to see. Not really what you want to see. Opponent starting with Dialga. That's exactly what they want to see going second. Let's them get the Metallic Turbo going on turn 2.
For those who don't know, by the way, we are having to stream other people's games when we do tournament streams. And sometimes they're streaming from their phone, they're on different types of internet, stuff like that. So the game quality can have a bit of an issue. That being said, we're really happy that all of our players are willing to stream their games for us. To play.
Yeah, because you don't want to have a day 2 where you're like, oh, okay, no one can stream. So that's why you have the stream for the spectators. So we can do stuff. Shout out if they ever put it in spectator mode, you can bet we'll be implementing that. But until then, we're gonna. Sometimes there are a bit of issues. Sometimes we watch Japanese players and I can't remember the name of the cards.
Oh no.
So, okay, they did get the Shaman here, so they're gonna be able to retreat and attack with the Moltres. Get the Inferno Dance.
So Inferno Dance does come down just like you're saying. Hells, please, heads. Finally won. But
I got one. I mean, I think they're gonna have another turn. And again, this is maybe it's just me. I would put my energy on the Moltres here. I know that it could already retreat, but just Mew existing in their deck is so threatening that I think you want to be doing. You want to at least threaten damage. You know, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, they got the chart. Nope.
Here, Charizard.
Charizard. I guess if they get 5 energy, they could go just double Crimson Storm. So if they retreat the Moltres next turn, right? They need to get at least 1 energy here, and
Ooh.
Okay, so I think they're just gonna be able, because with the Shaman, the cheaper retreat cost. Oh, that's only gonna put it at 4 energy though.
Yeah, you
so
want to
can't
have
do it 2 turns in
5
a row.
before you put it up, I feel like.
There's the Mew, of course. Gonna get Metal Turboed up. Now this is precarious because the Arceus and even Dialga threaten like 100 or more damage onto your Moltres EX. And you still need an extra energy for the Charizard, so you could stall here, but then you're leaving yourself vulnerable to Sabrina. Let me check. Alonzo. Oh no. Alonzo does not play any copies of Sabrina. So there's the Shaman, even if they KO the Moltres EX, the Shaman is not a vulnerability for them. Because they never have to they're never forced to put it up. So that might become relevant. So you're not afraid of playing your basics here. I would be afraid of playing my basics if my opponent had Sabrina or something. So we're gonna see a potion. And then Giant Cape. Get to 120. Trying to keep it out of Arceus range.
It is going to be outside of Arceus range, but definitely I think this is like one of your points where you were saying, like, why aren't we attaching energies to Moltres? We need to, build up.
Yeah.
Build it up or whatnot.
Did you notice the hand attach? They attached to Charmander. If you attach to Charmander and you flip 3 tails, you're gonna be devastated. I would have just put 1 on Charizard, and then you can put the one from Moltres on Charmander if you want. Didn't end up mattering, but that was kind of not what I was expecting. So they play red. Ooh.
Let's see.
This is. I think this is over because you can't attack with the Charizard because Mew will take it out in revenge.
Yeah, exactly. So that's gonna be a huge problem here.
So I think this is. I mean, like you would need to get through the Dialga without using Charizard. You could do Sabrina here and hope they give you Mew.
Sabrina.
And they don't. And so now you need to just. We're playing Hope Pokemon, which is not what you want. When I taught kids how to play chess, I tell them don't play Hope chess, where you just hope your opponent misses a move. Like you do a bad move to hope that they do that, but sometimes it's actually the only thing that'll win, like chess. See the Mew EX come up.
And that's gonna probably end up game here.
I see a lot of people cheering on Alonzo in the chat. So I got some fans here. Rocky Helmet. And there we go, genome hacking. Did they choose Slash? They didn't. They chose Crimson Storm. That's gonna be games. Game 2 going to Alonzo, so they're gonna be our second finalist.
Yep, second finalist has been decided. Arceus Dialga versus Giratina Mewtwo. Who would have put that in their bingo card?
Very interesting. Yeah, congrats, Charizard making top 4. That's crazy. And the other person that made top 4 was playing Darkrai Giratina. So,
for sure. Let's see here. We're gonna try to get into our finals here shortly, guys. I'm gonna see if we can run the ads before the finals game, so that nobody misses out on those. Let's see. Where's that all going? I was completing the prediction we did. We can pop up that meta breakdown real quick so that I can tell when
Okay. Yeah, do a bit of a longer mods of do a bit of a longer prediction, because we're gonna be here for a couple minutes while the ads go.
Do it in a second. I can run it. Let's see.
Oh, okay. I thought someone else was running.
Give me 1 second here. We're gonna run a really quick ad. While we sit here, though, let's see. What do you think of this matchup we're about to watch?
So it's Arc Dialga is the classic. I say classic. It's been around for a couple weeks, for a month. Versus the new hotness, Giratina EX. Giratina EX Mewtwo they have a lot of options, right? That's the thing, is because you're playing so few Pokemon, you can do that. I think you always want to start Giratina, but it's very tanky. A Metallic Turbo plus an Arceus attack does KO. Neither Dialga nor Arceus EX live a hit from Mewtwo EX without a cape. And Alonzo's only playing one giant cape. And then they do have 2 copies of red, and then Mforce CM is playing 2 red and 2 cape and a helmet. Honestly, I think our Giratina Mewtwo player is positioned very well.
Yeah, it is a really nice position for them to be in right now. Those pre-rolls are off in the next hour, but I don't really know how that works right now since I didn't turn on commercial. So I guess we'll be getting into our game fairly shortly here. I'll let them know that we're gonna get into that.
If it says pre-rolls are off, then you're good.
Yeah.
Ads won't run until then. So okay.
Yeah. Are you ready? I'll ask them if they're ready. So, do you have an idea of which side you think is gonna win here?
That's what I was saying. I think the Mewtwo player has a bit more of an edge, with Mewtwo doing more damage. The Arceus Dialga player only plays 1 copy of red, which is their only way to hit for more than 130 damage, and you'll notice that both Giratina EX and Mewtwo EX have more than 130 HP. And while the Mewtwo player is playing 2 Giratina, which, you know, it hits itself in return, the Mewtwo does not. So if they can get the Mewtwo, they're going to be in a great spot. Honestly, if they can get the Mewtwo on the bench and a Giratina in the front, I think they're going to be positioned very, very well to take the match. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I think it'll be... I think enough turns are going to happen, let's put it this way, that I think Mforce is going to be in a really nice position. And we'll have to see what Alonzo ends up being able to do.
I expect we will see 1,000,000 energy on all of the Pokemon in this game. It would be a Glade's paradise, to just, you know, come in third party and take out both trainers. But
imagine if that's how these Pokemon games work. You're just, you know, dealing with
that's how I won with my. That's how you win battle royale games, and how I won back in the day playing free for all games. So
surely battle royale is the type of game we're playing right now. So yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know how battle royale would work. Yeah, it's not quite, but anyway, do we know which person we're gonna be spectating? I don't know
what do you think?
If either of them is better quality or anything.
I think Alonzo's stream is better quality. I was actually just checking them out while we were chatting. So I'm gonna send it to you. Let's see here.
All right, and yeah, they've had a lot of fans in the chat. So pull up their stream.
See here, I am just getting it. There, have a quick bio break. And then we'll get into the game here. I figure out what's going on,
but it's a green screen with a chair.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
It's like a stadium screen. They cropped it. I would like it to see a tilt or whatever, but yeah, no, I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, so let's see here. They're gonna get started in just a second. He's returning back to his stream, and we're gonna get into this BO3. Really interested to see how it turns out, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic thus far. Yeah, it just definitely happens sometimes, Dark. It definitely does happen at times. So let's see here. I think y'all can start when ready.
Ooh, the people in the prediction are going with what I'm leaning towards. Falling for my ruse of me stealing all of your channel points as I bet for the Arctalga player to win. That's not actually, but I am going to put my points on Arctalga because it's a good ratio.
Thought you were done voting on my channel, Krohnos.
No, it's the other thing. It's your ranked mode thing. We can talk about that. Not now if you want, but
no, I'm just laughing.
Yeah.
Your team, if you want to have your team. Yeah, it makes sense for sure. Okay, guys, we're gonna be getting in here really shortly. They're just talking about their games, it looks like, and we'll get into our last round of the match. Top 8 last week, top 4 this week. Next game, let's go, Sneak! Congratulations, buddy. Yeah, I always love seeing the same players reappear in the top cut every single week. There's what's the word when it's a surprising amount of skill expression. Game. Even though
cool, look at that transition. I know the chat's not gonna see it, but
let's see here.
Wins and visits to Nurse Joy is how they've chosen to label their losses on the stream.
We don't lose, okay, ever. We only learn. Or in their case, visit Nurse Joy.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we're gonna be watching Alonzo's point of view.
See, I can open a pack.
Very cool.
See if I can do that and get the stream luck.
Here. Okay. Let's see. And we'll be getting into our match here super shortly. They're just getting set up and ready to make this the correct size because there was a small screen earlier.
I wish I could just mandate a screen size and resolution, but I think our only hope for that is a spectator mode, but should get into it soon. Oh, he's like green screened over it. Interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, we're gonna see him sitting here in a second.
You see his phone going back and forth, guys.
Yeah, there we go. And we are up live on the camera. Alonzo starting with Arceus. I don't think that's the Pokemon one they want to start with. Mforce with Mewtwo, but Giratina EX quickly on that bench as well. I make this a little.
Yeah, and Giratina, they're going first, so they can use Broken Space Bellow and get the energy charging up already. Do you just attach to Mewtwo here and just start throwing off Psychic Spheres? Might.
Let's see.
Alonzo's deck is blinged out, I have to say. Every card they're drawing is covered in it, so.
Let's see.
Shaman.
Okay. So we're gonna, looks like we're gonna start hand attaching to that Mewtwo again. We are, I'm assuming bellowing, but I think we researched this turn, right? I was thinking there's somewhere where you like dawn up the energy, start swinging over 50 immediately. It'd be funny.
Yeah, the thing about doing that is then you're not spending any turns charging up, right? But it is something to keep in mind that the Psychic Spheres can come out. You can do one turn of Psychic Sphere, and then you can just get right into side drives. They play one copy of Dawn. Is that correct? They play one copy of Dawn.
Yeah, just one.
Hard Retreat.
Yeah.
I think like I mentioned before, the Mewtwo is the thing that one shots everything else that they have. So I kind of get it. Gonna have a Rocky Helmet up front. Just get all the tools out. They only play through 3 tools in their deck, so that's all of them. Do another Broken Space Bellow, get another Psychic Energy. They start attacking.
Let's see here. We are going to have that Leaf to retreat the Arceus. I think that's exactly what he wants. Only concern I would have with this is, like, I feel like you one-shot Mew EX and you one-shot
yeah.
Payman.
The Mew does make the Giratinas.
We use Leaf and we pass.
Leaf change your mind is not what you want to happen. I've done, it's the correct thing to do is if you think it's the, try you recognize you made a mistake and you don't dig into it even more, but that's,
gutsy to not, continue the way, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who, we were mentioning this earlier, those who are looking over here, he's green screened onto his screen, so he's like over top of his computer or his phone screen a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why you see this in the corner. That being said, he finally finds Dialga, probably wishes he still had his Leaf, and we're going to see an energy attached to the Dialga now.
Yeah, now it's like, now you wish you could make like a trainer and Leaf, but, make like a tree and Leaf. I messed it up. No one in chat laugh, okay? Anyway, but yeah, attached to the Arceus, and now just gonna keep wait to do 130 damage. Let's see. Alonzo does play one copy of red to do 150, but the other Mewtwo and Giratina are out of range of that. So he just got this front one.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think we're just gonna have to slowly power up this Mewtwo on the bench. If anything attacks Giratina, we're able to KO it, and it's probably not gonna KO us. Minus, I guess, like a red.
The only thing you could do is like a red with Arceus would pick up a KO, but I don't know. Oh, my stream is frozen. I was wondering why nothing was happening. Oh, never mind. Nothing is happening.
Yeah, nothing is happening. Yeah, we're gonna bellow on that Giratina on the bench, and just wait a couple more turns.
Charge up to Arceus. Do they have red? It's got the red. It's got the red cosplay right now, wearing a backpack while sitting down. I know you guys can't see; you can only see his hands, but thinking about it, actually. Nope. Okay, off to play the red. Real cool art. I love that the red and blue are doing the same pose, but they're facing different directions. Take the KO.
We do knock out the red.
Giratina X. That's the only copy of red in Alonzo's deck. So the Mewtwo and Giratina currently have 170. And so both of them are capable of living all of the hits that Alonzo can dish out. So he's going to need to hit something at least twice to pick up the KO. Dawn here would be devastating.
Let's see here.
Mars. Down to one card.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little sad
I mean, opponents in the tank, they use Mars as their supporter, so the only other cards that they could have to be thinking about are Potion. That's it. It's Potion or Pokeball. They're not going to play Pokeball.
Yeah.
The rest are capes or supporters, and they use their supporter for the turn. So I guess they were thinking about the energy, or put the energy. But get her research. Again, no red, so the Giratina does fall, or it doesn't fall rather, to one hit. Can put Giant Cape on the Mew EX so it can survive the Giratina's attack. But it would survive, but if it does it in return, it would knock itself out.
Yeah, that's gonna be the huge problem here. I mean,
I was gonna say you can retreat into Mewtwo. Yeah, make like a tree and leave. Get out of there.
Mewtwo's into the active with the leaf. They can swing for 150.
And get a side drive. And then the next turn, they use Pokeball for. Does Alonzo play red? Yeah, Alonzo. No, they don't play red card or Mars. So. I expect a side drive and then probably a retreat attack, or Dawn attack the next turn. But there's still a couple outs.
You could have Dawn attack. We could retreat attack. There's a couple of things Mforce could do, just like you're saying. Mew is going to come up here.
Yeah, Mew can side drive because it doesn't actually discard its metal energy. It only discards psychic when side drive specifies you have to discard psychic energy. Mew doesn't have any. You can still use the attack though. You just discard as much as you can. Can't put a helmet on it though because it's already got a cape.
Got a cape, yeah. Only problem is that even if he does side drive, I mean, what are you?
Yeah.
Doesn't knock out.
I mean, here it doesn't knock out. They can't side drive in return. Right? They have Dawn.
They could if they have Dawn.
They get it. Otherwise they need to go to Giratina and something. Okay. Alonzo's smiling.
Red.
No, the red comes
And
out.
that
He puts
does finish off the game. That's game 1 for Mforce. And we'll let them get set up for game 2 then. Ouch. Yeah, I almost felt like there was like no way to come back. But it comes. I mean, Mforce made their way.
They played 2 copies of red, and I don't think they used the first one to KO anything. So
See, let them get set up. I'm
on to
normally.
game 3. He's trying to psych himself back up to play.
Yeah, I saw that as
normally
well. Like, I'm just like trying to think like what exactly to do there. I mean, maybe actually starting with Dialga obviously would be much more of a comfortable start.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think that Alonzo really made any misplays with himself. So, like in the game himself. So.
Yeah, I think he played all right. I think he's thinking about if he could put the cape on something else, because the Mew had the cape and.
Yeah, that is one choice or one thought for sure.
You could put the Mew on Dialga or Arceus should let it live a hit.
So like to an extent,
maybe,
depending when red arrived.
Very hard.
When red arrived, he could have used red on the Mew to attack, right? And then not needed it for the Mew knockout if he went into the Giratina. So let's see. They're getting into their game.
Dialga. Setting up the full bench. No fear of Sabrina. I guess Mforce does play a copy of Mars, so that's why you would want to play your basics. But they have 2 copies of Sabrina. I would consider just playing Sabrina here, so that it forces on to do something. I think it's often incorrect to do that, but. Another Pokeball. Pull up something. Probably looking for, I'd say Arceus. I mean, Dialga's probably not bad because it's the tankiest thing. But we got double Giratina down. Very threatening.
Let's see. Yeah, it does not feel good to be going into a double Giratina like this. I feel like.
You'll be able to chip down the front one, but you can see that Mforce is preparing to. They can attack on turn 3, right? And they're going. They went second, so the Dialga is going to be able to hit here, but the Giratina is going to be able to hit back. And I guess the Arceus comes back. Do they need Mewtwo here?
I mean, Mewtwo is able to knock out the Dialga even if he does have a cape on him, which would be nice. Like with the red, obviously.
No, I meant the. Because the Giratina would need 2 attacks, right? Because the Giratina could attack, but then Dialga lives and then retreats into Arceus, and Arceus just gets a KO because they'll be at 100 HP.
Mewtwo's gonna
did
come
get the
down.
Mewtwo. I'm expecting that to be no. I guess they want to attack. Oh,
red.
That'll do it.
And that's gonna be a really early knockout. I mean, there's not even a third Pokemon on the bench for this Arceus.
Yeah, so they would need. So Arceus will do, as is, 90 damage. Oh, the potion is brutal. You can see Alonzo is not happy with that.
He's definitely not happy here.
I can see. It puts Giratina EX at 140. So Arceus needs 2 other basics and red in order to KO the Giratina.
For sure.
Okay. That's step 1. Okay, that's step 2.
Ultimate 4. I mean, there's only 110 here.
I think they would have. I think he would. Yeah, he did not end up. Didn't have the other basic. The Arceus EX is powered up by more basic Pokemon, but the more Pokemon you put in, the less chance you have of drawing your Arceus off of your
Mhm.
Pokeball. So it's kind of a balance, and unfortunately didn't get enough. I think I would consider playing red there just to make Giratina not able to attack without a potion.
Do you have a
You
second
think what?
red?
Mforce Game does play 2 copies.
I think it's an interesting conversation to have, though, about how many basics. I think Bombo brought this up in last week. That it was like the Pikachu peak was like
Yeah, it was. I think it was 7.
7 or like 7, but we only run 6 in the current one. There's like some world, right, where like, do you actually end up Pokemon
6,
Centers
and they
again?
have, and 2 of them have 2 cost retreat. The Pikachu basics all had like 1 cost retreat.
Yeah.
So 2 is okay. Do the potion, hit, attach. I mean, Mewtwo just comes in and doesn't clean up.
50.
I mean, they don't. I mean, yeah, it hits for 50 and then it lives, right?
Yeah.
It's the Arceus hit. It's at 170. So they're gonna, let's see. Do they
Red
play
plus a
Cyrus?
basic. He has 170. Yeah.
They play one. They want to play 1 copy of. Yeah. Red plus a basic would bring it up to 150, which is not enough.
I feel like you bellow
You would
here
need
if you have Dawn in hand.
plus a basic. Red plus a basic and a helmet. If I have Dawn in hand,
I bellow. Even if there's a high chance of making Dawn, I bellow.
Because especially if you also had a red. They're thinking. Go to
Mars.
Mars. Okay, it's a fine time to Mars. Shuffle away a research and a red. Red was probably the most relevant card. That is.
One Pokeball though is not what you wanted him to hit.
I mean, it's gonna draw a or an Arceus. No, that it doesn't draw anything now. It doesn't draw anything, or it'll draw Mew
now, but
it'll draw Mew, but that's not gonna matter. Because Arceus EX is at 50 HP. No way to heal. Gotta retreat into something. I guess it's probably Dialga, and then charge up your Mew EX with the turbo. But Dawn is lethal here. Cyrus is lethal.
Do 30 into the Mewtwo. Do we have Cyrus? Yeah.
So they also could. I was gonna say they could charge up the.
I think Dawn's not lethal, right? Because no extra energy to pull up.
Oh, you're right.
Because only Cyrus, but they have the Cyrus.
That's gonna be the game.
Yeah, that's a 2-0 by Mforce. Dominating matchup for the Mewtwo.
Oh, I wish I did. I wish I stuck with my word and put the channel points on the side. I bet, but that's gonna wrap up Ursiiday's Pocket Weekly number 22.
Yeah, it is, and just like that, we are done with Ursiiday's Pocket Weekly. Absolutely awesome to watch a fantastic job with that Giratina Mewtwo. I don't know. It's only been 3 days since the set released, but I think there's so many really awesome and creative decks. We're seeing Meowscarada with Executor, Beedrill, Arceus. We're seeing Beedrill by itself. We're seeing Beedrills with different decks. We're seeing Giratinas in multiple different lists. I cannot wait to see what players continue to think up in these coming weeks.
Yeah, I love seeing first meta shakeups. Of course, the ranked ladder just came out, so you're gonna be seeing people, people climbing up that, and of course, when I get to Master Ball, I'm gonna be tweeting about it. So keep an eye on the Masters for maybe some different decks, and hopefully we'll see some stuff pop up.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Absolutely fantastic job, though, by Alonzo, by Mforce. Absolute master classes at their deck, and I had so much fun watching them. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of our players today. They did a fantastic job, even the ones yesterday. But thank you guys so much for streaming your games today. It means absolutely the world. And we're so happy, Krohnos and I, to get to cast all of those matches. For those of you who do not know my co-caster, Krohnos, he is a community member as well as another streamer and YouTuber. If you want to check out his content, !co-caster. And I really hope you guys check his stuff out. Krohnos, is there anything else you want to say today or anything like that?
No, I mean, thank you so much for having me on. This was a blast. I'd love to do it again in the future. And again, guys, socials will be shouted out. I'm next expecting to be live tomorrow. I've got an early morning thing, so maybe midday or afternoon, evening stream. Gonna be grinding ranked. We're gonna be in Ultra Ball, pushing for Master Ball. And yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, we had so much fun today casting all the games. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of our players again. Huge shout out to all of our viewers. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Ursiiday's Pokemon Pocket Weekly. We do host and run the largest, most competitive Pokemon Pocket tournament every single weekend. So if you want to check out next week's tournament, it is already live. You can sign up for it. It'll be the same time next week. And if you are new I
said I need to sign up.
Continue. Oh my god, how dare you. I didn't not sign up yet. If you are new to the competitive scene or haven't used Limitless, we do also have a guide on how to do that. So I would definitely recommend it. But we would love to have you guys. We also have a really awesome and active community Discord, both specifically for the stream and my YouTube, as well as for the tournament. Really competitive Pokemon Pocket conversations. We have all the best players there and all the best community members. And we say good morning and good night to each other most days. We always love to get to chat. So make sure that you join us if you can. I do also want to give a huge shout out, though, to our sponsor today, XP Collect, who sponsors this tournament every single weekend. They've been doing it since week 1 of the tournament, the week 1 of Pokemon Pocket. So we are so happy that we could that they work with us and are willing to work with us and help this fledgling community and scene. I'm so happy that we have such an awesome grassroots scene here, and so I just hope that it can continue. They're a small they're a card shop up in New Jersey that you guys can check out. If you follow the link, they sell all different types of card games and do pre-orders, Yu-Gi-Oh, Lorcana, Pokemon, and there is Destined Rivals that'll be coming out shortly, and you can go in and sign up for all their text messages about the pre-orders for that. They're dropping the links in the channel. That being said, I do want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor and my cocaster again, as well as all the viewers. And I do also want to give a huge shout out to my mod group and my judges, because we could not cast this game without them. It would be very distracting to try to do judge calls, and it just would not be possible.
Oh yeah, they do a lot in the background.
Oh yeah, they do. So
really
I
appreciate it.
Hugely appreciated. So I just want to make sure everyone knows, give them a huge shout out as well. We are gonna raid Alonzo because I think the other player doesn't actually stream. I think they're just streaming on Twitch to stream the game.
Discord, yeah.
So we are going to raid Alonzo here. That being said, guys, if you're new to Pokemon Pocket content, or if you're interested in Pokemon Pocket content or new here, hi, I'm Ursi, and that's Krohnos. And I do Pokemon Pocket content about 7 days of the week. Saturday and Sunday are Pokemon Pocket tournaments. We are going to be doing ladder and tournaments all days of the week. And we have a lot of fun doing them. I do YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and we have a really awesome and active Discord that I've already mentioned, so make sure to check those out. We did do a YouTube video on a tier list of all the ranked decks. And I had a YouTube video that's supposed to come out this morning, but I accidentally messed up the export for it. But I talked to 3 different ranked players who've already hit Master Ball, and they gave us their top decks for ranked. And so I will be uploading that in about 30 minutes now. If you guys want some deck lists for ranked, I think it's like a Charizard list. We have a Giratina Darkrai list, a Charizard list, and did I say Charizard?
You said Charizard.
Okay, then the other one's Meowscarada, and then another list as well that Darkrai Weavile that I hope you guys will enjoy and hope you guys can get to play and try out on ranked yourself. That being said, we are going to shout out our sponsors one more time here, XP Collect. Thank you so much. I do want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor again, XP Collect, for putting up that 400 USD prize pool that our players have been playing for. It is we're able to do prizing all the way down to our top 16 because of our fantastic sponsor. So make sure that if you're looking for Pokemon cards or any type of physical card game, that you check out XP Collect's website and see if you can order through them, because it would really, really help. Thank you guys